Okay, I'm strapped. Strapped and I'm back on my bullshit. Let the Mac Clapper turn his back into some bullshit. Sitting in the game and you rappers in a toilet. I'm a street fighter, Tataruga hard dog it. And I tell them that the best and I'm married to the money and the game is my best man. Young Beater, reporting from another world, and I'm the truth and that's according to your lover girl. I got a bad diva, but not Hova's girl, but she stays on top like a cover girl. Okay, Beater so awesome. Fuck the Lakers team about my green like Boston. And that mean Allentown ballin' so hard I think the game need halftime. Shit, and I ain't even half tied. I'm so straight like an hairline. Bitch, I'm fly like an airline, so fly I need airtime. Step on my side, catch a bum by the landmine. I own a lot of landmine cause I am so landmine. That mean I'm the fucking bone whenever am I. Shitting on you haters, yep, shitting on you haters. I stay shitting, that's why I get a lot of toilet paper and them niggas hating cause I'm in the lead. And I ain't lying to you haters, I make paper like trees. You niggas fall like paper like leaves. And watch me draw that pistol to you paper like G's. T-Fell. Them niggas hating, but I make them like me. But I got a swagger of a god. They don't make them like me, yeah. Money is the image on my picture ID. And my coupe got a lot of features like DJ Khaled. I got a bitch from Cali, but her brains are very simple. Proactive way, bust in her face like a pimple. And you mad cause I give them all the mad, get them niggas body shots like a centerfold. Yeah, your boy softer than a dinner roll. And I ain't lying, this a beginner flow. Beginner in the game, but I been a pro. Shoot to my wrist, so no shoot to my fist, so shoot to your real smoke. And you rappers wallets, young money like Briscoe. Shout out to the click though. I like a bitch with a clinch stroke, got money, but I'm getting more dice. Shoot a swag, run up on them, what they hit for. And I ain't begin though. I'm going in like the intro. It's fuck the world, no deal though. Real dick skills, ho. Big dick kill hoes, little nigga, big dough. I got a tooth tie, the rap game been sold. My flow harder than a steel toe. It's no excuse.
Yes, sir. There's no excuse in the building. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for joining this evening. You know what I mean? My No Excuse family, the Passport Bro community. We streaming from on two different channels today. So you know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. So you know what I mean? I know my Passport Bros, I know they ready, you know what I mean, to defend and talk about this international travel. You know, I'm gonna give a brief introduction so about the Passport Bro space because some people may not know, and then also I'm gonna bring up some guys that traveled, you know, some guys that you know that have some positives, and then some guys that may give some pushback into kind of how we Passport Bros move and think in general, you know. So the Passport Bro space, you know what I mean, we all part of the manosphere, you know, but we you know, a lot of the passport community started through Facebook, you know. So we had a Facebook group, and one of the larger Facebook groups was ran by a man named Charles Tyler, you know, and he passed in 2017. But Charles Tyler, he started a Facebook group. It was his focus was on Brazil primarily, but it was more of Afro Brazil versus Afro American women. And he inspired a lot of brothers in that group to get their passports. Some guys that was kind of in that group and kind of grew out of that. You got Russ Taylor, Taylor Made Dreams. You know what I mean? So he's a you know, he's a big YouTuber now. Myself came out that group. Also, if anybody familiar with Black Man Travels, and then Black Men Travels as well, you know, we all were in that group under, you know, Charles Tyler. And you know, once you know Charles Tyler passed in Brazil, he may have had some underlying health issues, but we carried on the message, and it's bigger and better. You know, I mean, the same thing that's kind of going on with Kevin Samuels. You know, Kevin Samuels died unexpectedly, and there's going to be other people, you know what I mean, passing on that torch and carry it on. So, like I said, you know, we got a lot of brothers in the space. Um, you know, some of the known black travelers. You got people like I am Mara, you know, which he covered Thailand, he covered Colombia heavy, Ace Live. You know what I mean? He started out in Colombia and moved around. Then you know, myself, I've been to 7 different countries, but what's unique about my travels is that I visited multiple cities. So 11 cities in Colombia, 13 cities in Brazil, 5 cities in DR, Thailand. I've been hitting South Africa heavy, Ethiopia, Japan, Philippines. So I hit up all the hot spots. Black Man Travel is another big YouTube channel. So there's a lot of travel Passport Bro YouTube channels. So Passport Bro are bros that have been fed up with the Matrix. So the term the Matrix, which was kind of coined by Tariq Nasheed, Charles Tyler, used that, and basically those were his big talking points: escaping the Matrix. What is the Matrix? The Matrix is basically westernized culture, and we all know the fuckery in westernized culture. So brothers with passports, we decide, we want to escape the aspect of the Matrix that deals with relationships, marriage, casual dating, and so a lot of people, a lot of brothers, have realized, what, you get a better deal overseas. You get a better deal on your pocket overseas. You just get a better experience overall. And so you have people that's critics of the Passport Bro community. Some arguments is, women are no different. You get the same. You get just a different set of problems. So we get a lot of push. We get a lot of different pushback. And so I'm here. I'm going to be here, and you guys could also chime in on what you agree or disagree with as far as the panel is concerned. So who we're going to have on today, conversations with King. He's traveled internationally. Not necessarily, he didn't necessarily start the same motivation as the Passport Bros, but he has a passport and a half travel. Rico, which I expect to have some different viewpoints. And then Mr. Real Estate, he hasn't bought into the philosophy of the Passport Bros. He'll be on as well. So I'm gonna get through these comments, and then I'm gonna bring them up. And then also, I got some, I'm gonna show some receipts from several countries, that I've traveled to. Let me catch up on the comments real quick before I bring the guest in. Okay, conversations with King in the building. Only foreign. Let's go. Little Wayne flow. Oh, yeah. That's the homie, man, with the intro, man. He do got a Lil Wayne flow. Mr. Real Estate coming in soon. Yes, sir. What up, Mr. Dawkins? Lover Boy, what's good? Roll the tape. What's good? He's another one. He's another big YouTuber, man. Dominican Republic heavy traveler, man. So, that's one of the homies. My homie T Love in the building. One of my admins for a Facebook group, man. Always good to see the homie T Love. Yes, sir. Chris, what's good? We got somebody on the Facebook page. Alex, aka Frosty, red pill all day. Yes, red pill is definitely escaping the Matrix. What up, Bert? What's good, bro? How you doing? Lee Prosper in the building. Passport Bros in the building. Salute to the chat. K Mac was popping. Andre and Andrew crossing borders, man. The homie and his wife, a married couple in Colombia, man. So that's how we do. It ain't all about pay for play. What's good? Who else we got? I owe no man no expectation as a grown man. I'll go wherever I want. All right, man. Let's get into it, man. So let me bring up both these brothers, man. Conversations with King and Rico.
Peace. What's up?
What's good, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good, sir.
Going good, man. So let's get into it, man. So conversation with King, man. If you can, introduce yourself, man, and tell people where you traveled at.
Well, just a conversation with King. I got a YouTube page dedicated to relationships and just social issues and just taking a tour around New York City at times. I actually started on YouTube because I was trying to promote my book, which is funny. It's called Loving Life Through the Eyes of Travel. So this whole book, this little small, beautiful, informative book, is basically me traveling to different countries and taking women or meeting women in those countries, from Egypt to Cuba to Bahia, Brazil, to Dominican Republic, and going out there with these women and coming back with different stories to tell, whether they be sexual or romantic, but with stories of my experience with women outside of America. So it was, as you know, I've been to like 51 countries, 50 countries to be exact. And I just came back from DR, and I'm planning on going to Jamaica for my boy's wedding. So there's a lot of Black men, and maybe because I was fortunate enough to go to like both my parents are from West Africa, Ghana. So, and my father always been a traveler, but I was also fortunate to go to like Columbia University, and traveling for the Black men on certain statuses is the norm. You know, I think Black men nowadays are more cultured, and they're more able to be worldly. And I always say, when you go out America, they treat Black men like gods. But here's the thing I want to make sure that we understand. My father always told me that any place is home if you have money. So I got a lot of pushback for the Passport brothers. I came here in peace, but I got a couple of questions for y'all, because you know I'm bringing smoke. But I came here in peace, but it might get a little bit spicy, because if you don't mind, no excuse, can I drop a little sneaky tidbit? All right, to what we're going to discuss today. So me being a world traveler, I was able to travel the world to many countries, and I met the most beautiful woman in the world. These same women, if they came to America, they would be chased after, literally chased after. Men will give them everything, right? So to the Passport brothers, because I think I'm in between. I don't mind going overseas to find love or to be in relationships or to have sexual conquest missions, right? But I also don't mind doing it in New York City, in America. And I also don't mind taking girls, American women, to other countries to have these experiences, which is displayed in this book. My question to the Passport brothers: do you really think that women out there are better than a woman in America? Or is it an economic thing? Are you doing it because it's easier to get a bad chick overseas and maintain her than to maintain an Americanized woman? That's the question. It's deeper than that, but we get into that later. We save this, but I just want y'all, that's the umbrella question for the Passport brothers. I'm in your kingdom today, but I'm bringing a little bit of smoke, and we're gonna have a conversation. All right?
Good. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely we definitely gonna address that. Brother Rico, man, tell us about yourself and what's your initial thoughts.
All right. First of all, thank you for inviting me up. No Excuse Entertainment. I really appreciate it. I always feel honored when you young guys even think about an old head like myself. So let me first and say I'm the old man on the block, or the old man of the group. And just for full transparency, I'm 57 years of age, 57 years young right now. I've been traveling since I was in the military 30 years ago, but I traveled off and on. And then when I got out of the military, maybe 20, 25 years ago, my travel stopped, as I was a father raising kids. And then when I remarried about 10 years ago with my current wife, all of a sudden I was back traveling again. I've traveled to, my current wife, she's from El Salvador, so we go back and forth there every year. I traveled to El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, and I have a home in the Dominican Republic. So, and I previously traveled to Korea, and I had traveled to Europe, to Germany before when I was in the military. So I've had a broad range of travel 3-4 times a year now. As a matter of fact, Thursday, I'll be back. I'm flying into Santo Domingo to get my car to take back to the DR for about 4 or 5 days. So I'll be there maybe another 4 times this year. So that's what I'm most frequent with right now. I'm usually, if I'm not on somebody else's panel. I'm usually rocking out on Let's Talk the Better Life with the Better Black Life with Bro Clarence. So you can usually find me there Tuesdays and Thursday. And I have mixed views on the Passport Bros. I'm a big proponent of travel, as King said, for Black people, period. I think the more we travel and the more we see the world, the better we are as people. I just want the representation of what traveling is about to be more honest, that we're telling people back here, like I'm trying to, teach my sons that it's about so much more than the partying that you see all the time or that people are projecting. While it may be true, it's a lot more to that. And these people from all these various countries, and these are, the diaspora, Black people are in all these places we talk about.
Yes.
So I just want us to tap in there a little bit more honestly.
Okay, cool. So before I get too behind in the chat, man, some people already, responded to your initial statements, King. So I'll let you both address them, as I go through them, if y'all want to address them. So the first comment by brother Alex, man, he said it's not just for pay for play, it's culture, freedom, and traditional feminine values from other cultures.
Right. Alex, okay. Are we going one by one or we?
Oh yeah, if you want to chime in, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, definitely. I'm not doubting that there's other reasons for it. Like I said, it's amazing when Black men are cultured, and we want to embrace other traditions. I still believe that the Black man is the original man and the creme de la creme. So wherever we go, it's just a piece of us we're visiting, right? And no matter where you go, there are people of darker complexions and that we can assimilate with, like in any culture, in any country. However, when I say I never said pay to play, but in any country, women are not dating any man that doesn't have the ability or have resources. And when they see a Black man, because of the media, when they see a Black man who has the ability to travel, they already assume you are a man of status or wealth. So I remember one comment guy said, let's not be fooled. They part of the reason is they're dating you because you have wealth. But here's a question to Alex. Are the top women in those countries, would they give you a shot? Because the top women in Honduras are dating Honduran dignitaries. The top women in South Africa are dating South African dignitaries. They're not even stepping out. There's some people that's so wealthy in their country, they don't even want to come to America. They only go here for school or just for shopping, and they rush right back to their country. So are you getting the question? See, I don't want to get into this conversation because y'all gonna love me, but y'all gonna hate me too. Are y'all actually getting the best of the best when y'all go over there?
Oh, time out. Let's
Okay.
let me tackle that real quick, and I'll let you respond, Rico.
Right.
So here's the thing, right? The average man in the United States, we can't even get the average woman.
Oof.
You know what I mean? That was Kevin Samuel's main thing. Like he was talking to average women, like, hey,
you woke up Rico. You woke up Rico now.
y'all, we got to bring it down a step. So I'm fine with going overseas messing with an average woman because a six, let's say, what's the average? 5 or 6? A 5 or 6, usually in these more exotic countries, they like a 7 or 8 in the US.
Facts.
Looks, treatment, everything.
Facts.
So I don't need to go to another country to get the creme of the creme, because at the end of the day, you comparing what you could get in the US versus what you can get overseas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'll let Rico chime in.
Well, let me say this. I make sure I can remember the origination of the question. So I agree that when you go overseas, you should be looking for women for things like culture, femininity, behavior, religion, and all these things. I agree 1,000%. But is the problem my perception, or is it the problem of what's being projected coming out of the passport space? So while No Excuse Entertainment may be responsible, if I do a YouTube search, you're Colombia, right? No Excuses, correct? You're based out of Colombia.
I'm not Colombian. My wife, my recent wife, she's Colombian and lives in
Okay.
Colombia.
So can you just give me a major city in Colombia?
Cali,
Okay.
Bogota.
If I did a YouTube search on Cali, what am I gonna get? Like 9,000 monger sites. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm sitting there saying is there are dudes with passports that are perpetuating what the attitude of what people who don't. Now, I've never been to Colombia, but people who've never been, if they do a YouTube search, well, I know you're responsible. That's not what's being pushed out. Like I said, I do know I respect people like Ace Live, because when I see him do his vlogs, he shows all kinds of cultural stuff, just that never. But those other places that he go, 99.9% of those other vloggers got those little GoPro cams, taking pictures up people's skirts at the bars, at the club, showing all the debauchery, and it's just a complete cesspool. I know that that's not all of Colombia. I know that's not even the majority of it, but that's what's being exported out for young Black men who've never traveled to see. So they go over there with that mindset, which is what the problem is. Because I'm like, if that's all they're seeing is the negative and not enough of the positive, then that false narrative, it's the same way where we say they pushed out the false narrative about African Americans to people in those other countries, while they always thought negatively about African Americans, because they didn't, the algorithm or whatever is not pushing out enough of the positive. So I fully know that, for all the stuff like in the DR, all that exists. But I also know the other side of it from being there. But I also know when you go to, or you say, look at the North Coast, everybody talking about Sosua. I'm not even going to act like, we're not going to act like we don't know what that's known for.
No, I don't.
Well, you don't want to know.
I know. I'm pretending. I'm pretending.
Yeah, so it's just like, this is what the narrative. Now, I live down in the Southeast, Punta Cana. I'm in the tourist area. They got it there too.
They got it there.
But nowhere near, right? They got it there too, but nowhere near to the level that they have other places, maybe in Santo Domingo, maybe in Santiago and other places. And all I'm saying is, it's not fair to the whole passport community, but the problem is, it's like, you guys say you're the manosphere. How some parts of the manosphere let the worst of the manosphere define the totality of it. Okay. That's how kind of the passport, in my mind, Lane, is if it is good, the loudest part is the mongers.
Okay.
They're pushing out the narrative that's painting everybody. So it's sometimes it gets a little hard to discern the difference. And I know I don't think that of you. Like I said, Ace Live, I think is great. Check and Effect, I think is great. But Taylor, I think is great. But it's not enough of them.
Okay, let me respond to that, and then I'm gonna catch up with the chat, and then I'll circle back with you, King. So I get what you're saying. The narrative that's pushed out on the Passport Bro community. Yes, some people have had issues with. I'm gonna bring up Mr. Real Estate. Some people do have had issues with the narrative of the Passport Bro space, but you have to, from a marketing and promoting perspective. Somebody has to mute their mic. From a perspective, you have to think about women. Black women travel, or at least started traveling more than Black men, right? Now, women haven't put all their information out on the internet like Black men has, but women motivation for traveling has been the same for Black men. You know what I mean? Going to Jamaica. You think they promote Jamaica because of the food, the drinks? They promoting it because Jamaican men blowing backs out. Let me finish. They doing all the freaky stuff women may not be getting in the US. Licking toes, cracks, all that. You know what I mean? From big girls to white girls to old women. So women know what's going on, and that's part of the motivation. Now, the Facebook groups, we're trying to help Black men, right? That are deeply depressed, deeply sex deprived, and etc. their only their motivation is not going to be walking to take pictures of the historic center of Santo Domingo or Cartagena. The motivation to travel to at least see is going to be seeing some beautiful women. You know what I mean? Pictures, videos, and all that stuff. So that's where I'm at with that. But since Mr. Real Estate came on, briefly introduce yourself, Mr. Real Estate, and then I'm gonna let Conversation with King, respond.
Yeah, I think I might be struggle streaming. How's my audio?
You good.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for the invitation, No Excuses, and thank you for Conversations with King and Rico for joining in on the conversation on such short notice. As far as a quick introduction, I definitely like to take a critical look at different social concepts, different social groups, and different, people in influential positions. And when it comes to the whole rhetoric of the Passport Bro community, on the surface level, I can understand it. I mean, I always grew up in a comfortable middle class, very diverse lifestyle in Northern California. I mean, I was going to school with Middle Eastern women, African, Moldovians, Russians, you name it. And I do pride myself on being with different cultures of women and learning about their cultures during that process. I don't have my passport yet. I've done extensive travel in our nation, but I do hope to get my passport soon. And with that comes my own research into the pros and the cons of going overseas and doing certain activities. So I do have some questions today for No Excuses and or the Passport Bros at large. And full disclaimer, I actually have produced some content looking very critically, not necessarily at the Passport Bros as a whole, but at some of your quote unquote leaders or most influential members, such as Dennis Sperling and O'Shea Duke Jackson. So I think this will be a very, very interesting conversation.
Okay, cool. Conversation with King. Did you have something you wanted to
Yeah, I want to touch on the fact that you said the black woman travel for Jamaica. What I hate to say this, people when the traveling thing is not always a racial thing, it's a socioeconomic thing, right? Mm-hmm. So when people do things, it's actually copying other people that were in a higher level of affluence. Mm-hmm. That whole going to Jamaica, Morocco, some parts of Indonesia, rich white women did that first for sexual conquest. Then as the black women started getting more money and started traveling, they realized, oh, we go there for that as well. And the women that actually go to those countries are not as desirable in America, right? The black women that travel for that. It's different for black men that travel for that because sometimes they could be the most handsome men and the richest men, but they still go overseas for that because of having less stress, dealing with less issues, right? But usually when women do that is because they're not desirable. They're over a certain age. They hit a wall, as Kevin would say, right? I want to make sure that's very clear. When black men travel seas for sexual conquest, and I'm not talking about prostitution, I'm talking about sexual conquest. They're doing it because they don't want to deal with the stress that comes with dealing with American women, in my opinion.
Okay. I have seen some baddies from the U.S. travel to Jamaica, but
we don't, not for that though. Trust me, not for that.
If they are doing it, they more on code than y'all. They ain't publicizing it like y'all. I ain't heard of the female passport sisters community yet.
No excuse.
These sisters got a secret society, if that's the case.
Can I say one thing? And let me be clear. Okay, now I'm not speaking for King or Mr. Real Estate. I have no problem with mongering.
Okay.
I think, hey, you pay. That's fine. I have no problem with that at all because I think clearly, as you said, if you're going there for the weekend, you're going to monger or you're not going to get none. You don't have enough time to develop a relationship. I mean, let's just knock it off. That's just realistic. So that's not the problem I have with it. And hell, I'm not going to say I ain't dropped a few dollars here and there. So that's not my position. My position is if that is in fact the case, then be honest about it, when you promote it, and I'm not saying to promote it blatantly honest, but don't tell guys, oh, you're going to go over there and find the love of your life. When I'm like, dude, when I'm going for my birthday, I take my 25, 27-year-old son. I tell him point blank, have your money right, and don't no girl in that club love you. I don't give a damn what she said. It just is what it is. So I'm not bringing them. Oh, I'm not gonna tell them to come over there and believe that. Oh, you know, they ask me like, oh, I want a nice senior. I'm like, no, you if you want that, you need to go over there and stay for about 5-6 months. Find somebody working and develop a real genuine relationship. The same as you have to do home. You can't go over there and develop a relationship in the weekend or 30 days. If we told a guy that here, we would all say, man, you just met that girl 3 weeks ago. Are you crazy? How y'all gonna get married? That's what we would say stateside. So I'm like, it's got to be the same thing. Whether you go to a foreign country, we know to vet and verify and validate a real relationship, it takes longer. And what do they say? You guys come up with the term, you got to shit test it.
Right.
I didn't come up with it. Y'all did. I was like, I ain't never heard of it, but that's the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just don't think that that's the message that comes out from the passport community. They make it seem too damn easy.
Right.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me catch up with the chat. I got about 30 comments. I'll pick some that's that y'all can respond to, but let me catch up real quick. And those y'all in the chat, man, please like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? It helps the algorithm out, and it just shows y'all support. So let me go through some real quick. Mr. Dawkins said it's not about who's better, it's about having options. Okay, Halton said cooperation. It's that simple. Mr. Dawkins again, after all, don't Black American women travel for love in Africa, Italy, and the Caribbean? No one says anything about it. Facts. Big Mike, I acknowledge that the women overseas want us and love us because of our money. Let's keep it honest, fellas. Good point. What's good, Felicia? How you doing? You know what I mean? She definitely helps a lot of us moderate the group. Shout out to you, Felicia. Appreciate you. Only foreign. I'm in a loud place. Okay, you'll be in the chat. Okay, cool. Let's see. Big Mike, they want broke ass in the U.S. Let's see. Let's say twine, hempware. Much agree, Rico. That has been my issue with a lot of platforms. Okay, that's the homie B. Daryl Long in the building. What's good? Salute, Rico and the panel. I hit the like button and getting ready to edit. Enjoy the conversation. Yes, sir. Damn, I am. Let me catch up. I am really behind. All right. Once again, like and subscribe. Only foreign. I did both. I party, but I ultimately found a good woman. QB Passport Flexing. Passport Bro haters. I love the title. Yes, sir. Let's see. Wild PXXENT. American women are hyper masculine now. Long work hours, and less housewives. You only see that on television now in the U.S. That's facts. The homie in Mexico right now. Roll the tape says top women in American Dating King. Let's see. Adrian, what's good, bro? Let's get it. He said, LML, laugh my ass off. He woke up Rico. Let's see what we got. Chris, unless you spend a lot of time over there or have pulled in those countries, you won't get the best of the best. Okay. Big Mike, the local men get the cream of the crop of the local women. The local men have the language advantage and cultural over tourists and gringos. Them 5s or 6s. Hey, I'm all for the 5 or 6s, man. Hey, a lot of passport bros go overseas to wipe up single mothers or foreign pro. You do got a point there. I can't argue with that. Exactly. The only men who are against travel bros can't get the best women in the States. My girl is average in her country. Let's see. They do that a lot in America, though. Players in Pattaya. What's up from Thailand? Salute to the passport bros in Pattaya, Thailand. Yeah, I got some video. I got some snippets from each country too. Alex, absolutely. The interest in men from America, they are interested in us. Media gives brothers a bad rep. As we travel, we change the world view of Black American men. Let's see. He said Rico doesn't matter though. Yes, get the likes up, get the likes up. Let's see. QB Passport flexing. Dudes want to do pay for play channels. You and I can't stop. You and I can't stop them. He said, Black Man Travels, what up? He said, this dude Rico is talking nonsense, man. Tell him. Andre and Andrea. So this is an example of a brother, man. He married a Colombian wife in Cali, man. They got.
Oh, he's super cool. He's super cool. I like crossing borders. He's dope. He's dope.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good.
That's my man. I like him.
Okay, bet. He said, not true about Cali videos. Do the research.
I rock with his channel, but there are videos out there about Cali, Medellin. There are Monger channels. I mean, I'm not saying it's the majority, but I'm saying if you've never been there and you just decide that you want to do a search, if that's the first thing that comes up in the algorithm, it gets pushed out. That's all I'm speaking of. I know there's great stuff.
Okay. Let's see. Only Foreign says it's like saying a dude going to Vegas automatically is going to participate in prostitution.
Probably.
Let's see. Brothers never show the best restaurants, best place to jet ski is always a female. But you know what though? That's the YouTube algorithm too, though. That's the YouTube algorithm. I know some content creators that post some cultural stuff, but people is gonna click. Don't blame the content creators, blame the
algorithm.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's the algorithm because there's more content creators that's pushing to pay for play. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see. A lot of dudes speaking things where they never experienced. Let's see. Big Mike says, we Black men, when we travel, we need to be respectful of the local culture and people.
Mm-hmm.
Medi, most of these videos are produced by the locals, not brothers. He has a good point. Let's see. Blue finally found the chat to answer conversations. I select women abroad, my guy, because they are less combative. Okay, he's gonna jump up. I'm almost through the end. He said, "I personally never been to Sosua.
Don't go.
Black Man Travel, been to 32 countries. Big Boss Real Talk. Okay. Yo, players. Okay.
Pattaya.
There's a local incel community in the West. If dudes travel solely for sex, they should not be shamed. Oh yeah. Mr. Dawkins, I agree with that, Rico. That's one thing I can say about traveling. I mostly go to places not known for mongering. Let's see what else. I've done. Okay, he's done 19 cities in DR. Let me see if anybody said anything worth y'all can respond to. Let's see. Sex sales. No one wants to see quality travel content on YouTube. Algorithms will push videos.
And that's what we're not disagreeing with anything. I'm not disagreeing with anything they're saying.
Right. White men have been living this long before Black men, but it's ironic they don't get the same pushback or stigmatized. Tell them white men are the innovators of mongering. Black men are very new to this.
Yeah,
they do it more.
No, because
publicize it much more.
Yeah,
white men don't publicize it.
But they're more Canadians, they're more Europeans over there mongering than Black men. But that is the difference. The Black men drop YouTube videos.
Right.
The old white men just don't. And they're probably 10 to 1. They just don't publicize it. I know that to be true.
That's a fact.
I agree with them.
That's a fact.
They just don't do YouTube videos.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It's like a badge of honor. It's like you want to show the Black woman, hey, guess what? I don't have to be here. I'm out.
I've never been to Sosua, but I can tell you all the places to go in Sosua. Envy and this place and that place because of the video. I've never been to the North Coast.
And if you go to Thailand, all the passport brothers in Thailand, they know about Sawadee Cowboy. They know about Sawadee Cowboy. They know about that strip. So it's like we brag about it, and this is not things to be bragged about. The traveling is an esoteric culture, right? If you know, you know. But we want to get on here and brag. But you know what? It's a bittersweet thing for me because I'd rather us brag about traveling than bragging about gold chains and cars and stuff. I'd rather us brag about that if we have to brag, you know.
All right, cool.
And the content creators are creating this content for it to hit the algorithm because they want the views and they want the likes. They want it. They're pushing it to make it. And you know where they really get you? They get you where they'll put the baddest thing they can on a damn thumbnail. I click on it and got to go through 45 minutes to try to see the girl. That's what they do. And then it's like, okay, so you get all these likes. It keeps pushing it to the top. That's it.
But look, can we talk about something else though in regards to the Passport Brother? Because you're talking about the ones that go down there for sexual conquest and this whole prostitution. I don't really want to talk about that because I don't partake in that. But let's talk about the ones that meet women online, build a relationship with them online, and then go down there to meet them. Is that considered a relationship to Passport Brothers, or that's considered the same thing Rico's talking about, just flying down there and it means nothing?
Repackage that. I don't get what you're saying.
Meeting a woman from another country online, building a relationship with her virtually, and then actually going down there to actually meet her. Is that considered a legitimate relationship, or that's part of like sexual conquest for Passport Brothers?
I mean, we don't really hate towards that. I mean, however you meet her, whether it's in person or online, because most of us have met women online.
Is it shame though? Because I heard of shaming as in when you go down there just to have sex, as opposed to meeting someone online and going down there to meet them.
Yeah, brothers don't get shamed. I mean, Passport Bros don't shame, but it's the people outside the Passport Bro community, mainly the ones that don't travel, that shame. You know what I mean?
But no, excuse. See, here's the thing: is and then we got to be clear about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the shame. Like I don't shame. Like I told you, when my sons go, they going over there to manga. I'm telling my sons, go here, go there, get your manga on. I don't have no shame about that. What I will not let them do is then take what they did and bring it back to the U.S. to weaponize their experience against women back here, because to me, they're two separate things.
Weaponize. I mean, dude, where you getting all this stuff from?
If they're going to sit there, what I'm saying is there are people in the spaces who will come back. I don't know if it's the spaces you've been in.
It seems like you're speaking from no experience whatsoever, but yet you want to chime in on something.
I'm speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from the experience that people will say, "Oh, they're over there with a pro," but they're
Who's saying that? Who's saying that though? Who's saying that?
Guys in the manosphere.
Man in the manosphere.
So I'm not going to name names anymore than you can say that it doesn't exist. But we do know that there are men in the space who will sit there and tell a black woman in the U.S. that they're lesser than compared to a woman in another country. And I just think that that's
unfair. Okay. You're smart, man. And you understand that not every man speaks in that format. So whenever a dude speaks like that, he's speaking for himself. He's not speaking for every black man.
I agree, sir. I agree.
My thing is just like, it's interesting how people always want to comment on a black man traveling, exploring their options, or just traveling the globe. They always have their input to say like we're doing something negative. Most of the videos that you've seen that's coming on to the YouTube are based on views. Right now, the hottest thing right now people want to see is ass. So most of those videos being produced are not from foreigners. These are from the locals.
So if you go to Sosua, okay for them to do sex tourism videos because it's their
again, guys. Most of the videos are coming from the locals, not from foreigners.
I've seen videos from expats and videos from people traveling from the U.S. to these countries.
But the majority of the videos are from foreigners. The majority of the videos are from foreigners.
I haven't watched anyone from foreigners. We're talking about the Passport Bros. Passport Bros aren't people who live in these countries.
Which is like less than 10%.
And go to these.
Which is less than 10%. Which is less than. Let's keep it real, fellas. Let's keep it real.
He's saying less than 10% of the Passport Bros actually live in the United States and are traveling. That they actually live in these countries originally. Is that what you're saying?
No, the 10% that's going to overseas and doing those videos are small because. Granted, guys, most of the guys are not traveling like that. So the ones that actually live there are probably expats, but the majority of the ones that produce these videos are foreigners, the people who actually live there. If you actually pay attention, look at their profile, these are locals, not foreigners who actually just moved into that country. Like most of those Sosua videos.
O'Shea Duke Jackson isn't a foreigner.
You know that to be true for all countries or some.
I mean, all right.
I'm just asking.
No, hold on. I want to address Mr. Real Estate. You address you highlighted O'Shea Dude Jackson.
Yeah.
What video content has he produced that puts shame onto black men or actually promote mongering?
He has a video, and I've done a live
one
stream
particular
about it.
one particular video, but the rest of his
You're
content.
interrupting me for what? You asked
The
me
rest
a
of his
question, and I'm
content.
trying to
What
answer, and now you're talking
rest of
over
his
me.
content?
You asked me a
What is
question
it?
about O'Shea. Are you going to let me answer the question about O'Shea?
Go ahead. That one particular video you're going to talk about. Please talk about it.
I don't know about one particular video you're talking
You
about.
just mentioned it's going to be that one particular
Oh
video
my
that you're going
gosh,
to talk
can I
about.
speak? Why are you so in your feelings? Is
I'm not in
O'Shea
my
paying
feelings,
your
bro.
bills? Is
I'm
O'Shea
not in
your
my
daddy?
feelings.
What's wrong?
Let
I'm
Mr.
not.
Video
Come on.
respond.
I'm not in my feelings, bro. Come
Relax,
on,
bro.
man.
Relax.
Come on. I'm not. I'm good.
You asking me a question, and you're not letting me answer it, and I'm wondering why.
Go ahead. Go ahead and answer it.
I've done maybe about 4 or 5 hours of content on O'Shea Dude Jackson, running numerous videos that he's produced, and he promotes sex tourism, and actually has a whole different channel that is strictly to promote that. So when you say one
What's the name of
video,
that channel?
when you say one video, there's dozens of videos, and I think Rico
What's
has
the name
seen
of that
some of those videos. I think Conversations with King has been a part of some of those streams I've done. So I'm talking about more than one video.
What's the name of the channel?
I don't know the name off the top of my head. It's some
Well, you just
random
done your research,
African
though,
name.
right? You
It's
did
some
your
random
research, though,
African
right?
name. Kaganda, Uganda, Fuvanda, Wakanda. I don't know the name.
Kinganda. I think he's got a channel, Kinganda.
Kinganda is a mongering site.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just naming a channel.
I never said mongering. I said O'Shea Dude Jackson promotes sex tourism, and you said I only know about one video, and I said I've seen dozens of videos, and I've done streams about it. So you can go and look at some of my videos if you want to figure out what content we've reacted to. But O'Shea has lots of content that's very damning and disparaging for the Passport Bros community at large. It's not a good look for y'all at all.
I don't know, when you say y'all, that doesn't.
When I say y'all, I'm talking about the Passport Bros community, and you're up here emotionally charged. So
I'm not emotionally charged. Come on, man. Stop reaching, man. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that, man. You kind of reaching. You kind of reaching, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
No. You came up here and you're speaking very
I'm
aggressive
good.
to Rico.
I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
You came up here speaking aggressive to Rico for one, and then you came up
Oh,
here.
now I'm speaking aggressive.
Me,
come on, now that's kind of ladylike for you to say. That's kind of ladylike for you to say.
And then interrupt.
That's kind of ladylike for you to say.
And now you're talking about what's ladylike when you can't even have a conversation
let's
like a man.
Interesting.
So what organization are you a part of? Because you're very emotionally charged, and I'm wondering what
I'm not emotionally charged.
All right, let's stay on topic, brothers. Let's stay on topic.
You're interrupting people. You're talking over people. I mean, learn how to have a conversation.
I am having a
Can
conversation.
I ask you a question, sir? Black Man Travels.
Sure, ask me your question.
Okay, sorry. I just want to bring it down a little bit. Okay, so and again, I'm not against Black Men traveling. I promote it. I got a house in the DR. I take my sons all the time. I'm constantly pushing them to travel to Africa, to Europe, to everywhere, because I think as Black people, the more well-traveled we are, the more well-rounded we become. I'm pro-travel. I want every Black person to leave fucking America, because my philosophy is there's a better place to be as a Black man than America. I believe that. All I'm saying is we have to be honest about our travels. That's it. So I'm not against the whole. I'm not even against the mongering.
So what is your argument?
I'm not saying that you should be doing it. I'm saying it's okay. If you're an adult, you're over the age and you're dealing with another adult, what you do is your own business. And I don't care. And people monger here in the US. We just don't call it mongering. We call it hoeing or whatever else. So I agree. I don't think that anything's different. I just don't want us to. The only thing, like I told No Excuses, is that in you guys' space, I would never promote to my sons that, oh, if you go overseas, you're going to find the perfect woman and everything's going to be rosy, because while it is true for some, it's not true for all. For all the success stories like Andre, like No Excuses, I guarantee you there's 10 horror stories. And that's all I'm saying is that's never talked about, the guy that came over here and got ripped off for everything.
And how many of your brothers have died overseas getting played by these hookers?
All I'm saying,
let's talk about it.
If you're going to have the conversation, that's fine. But I think that it's an unhealthy promotion that, oh, leave America, all those women over here are trash, go over here and all these women are perfect. And I can tell you, in the DR, hell no, they all are not perfect. They're not all perfect in El Salvador. You can go over there and you got a 50-50 chance of getting a good one and getting a horrible one in those two countries that I know very well. So I don't think people should be, whether you travel to one of those two countries, should be promoting that, oh, leave America. They're perfect over here. That's the answer. And that's what I'm saying. Nothing more than that. Travel. And I tell my son to travel anyway. Roll the dice over there just like you will back home, but expect you got the same possibility of success. That's it. Now, do you agree that the space is honest?
Point taken, Rico. Let me catch up on the chat real quick, and then I'll let you brothers respond. So I want to respond to this comment real quick. She said they go to third world countries and exploit poverty-stricken women. So to that statement, what do you say about athletes and entertainers that date women from IG that net worth is maybe $100?
Same thing.
No, don't own a house, don't own a car. They look good. They on Instagram, they twerking in a house where they ain't got no furniture. What do you say about athletes and entertainers that exploit them?
Same thing.
So, you know what I mean?
I'm confused as to why we're comparing athletes and entertainers to normal.
Because
wait, hold on, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we're comparing athletes and entertainers to normal middle class black men in America who choose to go overseas and explore their options.
Athletes and entertainers I'm referring to millionaires, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring
are most of the Passport Bros millionaires?
Listen, let me finish, bro. Let me tie them together.
Trying to make sure it's
let me tie together.
The only comparison is
let me tie together, Rico. Let me tie together. Athletes and entertainers, $1 million. $1 million is 20 times a person that makes $50,000 a year. So when I travel overseas, I make 20 times the average salary. So from an economic standpoint, I'm no different than an athlete or entertainer in the US. You know? So
I don't know. I don't know about that one. That's
a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and I keep on saying this. There's the real Passport Brothers that I know, right? And there's the Passport Brothers that only doing that because they can't afford the woman that they really want in the States, so they go overseas. That's what it is. You just said it. You said my money over there goes longer. You just said it. It's an economic, you said it earlier in your show, it's an economic choice. It has nothing to do with the matters of the heart or the penis. It has everything to do with your dollars. I want the baddest chick for cheaper. That's one Passport Brother. Passport Brother not a monolith. There's different levels to this. You got ones that
we come from a capitalist society, bro.
I never said we did.
No excuses is totally right, and I want to backpedal a little bit because the thing that you are right on is if you're trying to compare the two just economically, you are right. If I go to Uganda or the DR or whatever, I might as well be a rapper or athlete, and they look at a black man, a normal fat ass middle-aged black man from America, they look at you like a rapper or athlete even still. But this is why I don't think it's an equal comparison. The rapper or athlete in the United States that's hooking up with the IG chick or whatever, he's most likely not even putting any real investment of time or resources into that. Even if he flies her out, these are pennies to the dollar compared to the millions he make. Whereas these Passport Bros are spending a hell of a time and a lot of money traveling overseas to participate in these endeavors. And if you're going to say, okay, well, it ain't tricking if you got it and they got the money, it's still a time investment. I mean, what, a 10-hour flight, a 6-hour flight round trip, and then you staying over there and all what?
Yeah, but here's the thing, Mr. Real Estate. Here's the thing they don't get. You guys are not really doing anything by going to another country and bagging their chicks. Do you know this Africans, this Arabic men that's flying the baddest chicks in America to their country? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? All the chicks that you desire, we're gonna bring to. That's flexing. Why do y'all think this is flexing? We need to start normalizing traveling. That's not a flex. That should be normal for us.
But you know what?
Well, here's the thing for me. I think, why are we focusing on travel around women? Is that your primary reason why you travel?
Who me?
Just anyone. Like, are you traveling for women?
I travel to 50 countries, and I travel for leisure, and I travel for exploration.
Yeah, I travel.
And as a man of exploration.
So why women is the focus of this conversation then?
No, it wasn't a
Wait,
focus on top.
he asked if we mostly travel for women. Is that the
I
question?
say are men are traveling for women because that seemed to be the topic here.
So
No, that wasn't the topic.
This is why it seems like it's coming up in the topic. You admitted yourself that if you
Right.
look at the passport community by and large, you said that the dudes who are on that sex tourism shit make up 10%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes that make up 10% actually make up like 90% of the dudes making the videos. So even though they're a small part of
So
your
this is about
community,
the
stop. So even though they're a small part of your community, they are controlling the image of your community by and large, and that's the issue.
Yes, that's the issue.
That's
it's
the
not,
issue.
They're
And
not the bulk of your community. They are the same way I say with the manosphere. And the thing is, I will give no excuses. A 100% pass. You were right. No excuses. It's not the money. It's the exploitation that's the same when you look at an American athlete and an IG model and a middle-class American with someone overseas. In both instances, the fact that someone has expendable income and they're exploiting someone in need of that income is what makes them both the same. So the amount of money, whether he's 10 million in the US or you got $1,000 in the DR, I can take that $1,000 and leverage that $1,000 the same way he can leverage that 10 million, because $1,000 in the DR US is a whole fucking lot. It's a whole lot. It's not exactly equivalent to 10 million,
right.
But to a Dominican girl who making $200 a month,
right,
that's 5 months salary.
What I want to say to Peace to No Excuses, because he makes it clear that Passport Brothers is not a monolith. There's different levels and different subsects of that particular community. Why I say that is because we just hear this young man, black man saying, hey, you know, why are we talking about females? There's other parts of this, but you don't understand. For people that's not a part of that community, all we see is the Osei Jacksons. All we see is what the algorithm pushes up. You can say that's 10%, but the algorithm pushes those videos up, and that's what we see about y'all. And it gives a lot of people a bitter taste about the Passport Brother community, because I thought I was a Passport Brother because I traveled to 50 countries, but clearly I'm not. Clearly I'm not. It doesn't, because it basically, you're saying that it's not just about women, it's not just about culture, it's not just about social awareness. So what is it about? Can you tell me what the Passport Brother community is about in one sentence?
I can't speak for the Passport community. I speak for myself as a black man travels. People who know me, I've been to 33 countries.
Yes.
I have 5 countries lined up for this year. I have a website, www.blackmantravels.com, that highlight all my travels experiences. I write blogs, I produce videos. So, and basically I have a Facebook group that basically educate brothers to explore their options beyond like just pussy. There's a lot to see and do in these countries. So I never want to promote sex tourism or anything like that. So granted, I have a YouTube page. I got 600 subscribers. Again, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. I'm just sharing my content. But I know for a fact that my content is not getting looked at because I'm not showing ass. That's how it is.
Exactly.
I mean, the more ass you show, the more you're gonna get. The more you're gonna get. It's what it is, man.
Hold on, real
I wouldn't
quick,
say that. I wouldn't say
quick,
that, but I respect your
That's true,
comment.
though. That's true. He's right.
Real quick, I want to play something from brother Phil Scott from the African Diaspora channel. You know what I mean? They have 1 million views. So he mentioned something recently. He hasn't really been an avid promoter of the Passport community, but he said something recently. Appreciate the super chat, brother Andre. So let me play that real quick, and then we can respond to that.
For what they're not putting up with y'all. So if you want to sit up there and be ugly and salty and bitter all the time, black men are getting their passports every day. And it's not that black men are saying they want to go to all these different communities. No, they got black men that go to the African continent all the time and picking up women. You know, some of them go to Latin America. Some of them, zooming to Thailand. Travel OG, shout out to him. Zooming to Thailand and everything else they doing. Things have changed for the brothers out here. They do not have to put up with your ugly, evil tail. They ain't got to put up with that. So do not follow the example of Vivica Fox. That's what you don't want to do. do the complete opposite of that. But y'all let me know in the comments, y'all.
That's very interesting
what
because I
I'm-
think
no.
Rinko or King made a point that you guys travel overseas to explore your options with foreign women while also shitting on black women or you know, American women. And that dude definitely was speaking pretty ill and throwing quite some shade on American
that's
women
the-
by and large, specifically black women. Yeah.
That's the issue. Is again. So when I spoke earlier, black man, that's what I was speaking about. Was I'm like, I tell my sons, go find what you want there, but you don't need to come back. If what you don't want is here, you don't need to talk about that no more. Just go do what you got to do and keep it moving. Because and that's the mistake I've made is people think because my wife is Salvadorian that I met her in El Salvador. Like, fuck no, I met her ass here in America. I wish I had met her in El Salvador because she wouldn't have been so westernized. But that's the one I got. I love her and I'm sticking with her. But however, one thing I will tell guys too is that while you may still in 2022 go find a traditional woman in these Latin American countries and so on and so forth. Again, I'm going to speak heavily on the DR and I'm going to speak heavily on El Salvador, two countries that I'm in all the fucking time. The very thing that y'all talk about, the Matrix, that y'all don't like, those attitudes are starting to be exported. Just like we export hip hop, they're exporting those attitudes because I'm starting to see it more and more. It's slower.
Right.
You got a little bit of time, but they got the internet, IG.
That's a fact, Rico.
Yeah.
All the rest of that shit. And that
Rico, check this out. And Mr. I mean,
Actually,
no. Let me say one.
Real quick, King, you're my brother, but I have to pull a Kanye West and let you finish in a minute. No excuses. You invited us up to the show, and I wasn't aware that it was an open panel show. Me and King don't align or affiliate with Daryl Long at all. So if he's going to be on the panel, I mean, we can't, just for the sake of our own branding.
I can drop down, Rod. We good.
Okay, all right.
Say no more.
Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna let my dog in.
Thank you for that. And also, to be honest with you, I'm going to be real with you. No excuses.
Yeah.
You invited us on this show, and you put a comment by Brooklyn GQ. Shout out to everybody from Brooklyn, because I'm still here. Mr. Real Estate, your opinion is voided until you get your passport and travel out of the country, and you can't hate on anything you haven't done. First of all, I don't respect that comment being made about Mr. Real Estate. Let me tell you why I don't respect that comment. And it shouldn't be posted up, because it's disrespectful to me and my brother. So what happens is, if a man wants to travel, he's going to come to YouTube first. And he's going to see and come to you guys first. And by you talking like that, it's going to discourage him not to go and travel and deal with what's in America. We're not here to be discouraging people and talk about what someone can do. That's a very elitist quote. I'm not here to start any issues with anybody.
Well, King,
but
I'm not sure if you saw my response to his.
No, I didn't see the response.
So my response to his comment was, I didn't know I had to have a passport to ask questions to your group. And actually, the first thing I said when I came up here is that I date foreign women. I grew up in multicultural communities, and I want to get my passport soon and travel overseas and explore my options. So if I am looking to do that, and if I go on YouTube and look at the Passport Bro content, even though, like the other brother is saying, this is only 10% of the community, they have the narrative of your community right now, and the narrative is heavily based on sex tourism, unfortunately.
Let me address you real quick.
I didn't finish, but also it's very elitist, right? And this is what I'm saying. You're flexing.
Absolutist, yeah.
It's very elitist, and you're flexing, and there's other people doing it better than y'all, right? Everybody can come and say, "Oh, I went to 33, I went to 50." I'll be honest with you, there's nobody in your chat that went to more countries than me, and I'm not coming off like that. That's wrong, and that's corny.
And in actuality, I invited Rico up here, I invited King up here, and these two guys have traveled extensively. If you want to know where I come into it, I'm the new guy about to get my passport, and I want to know what direction should I take. And y'all seem to be talking about the pros and not a lot about the cons.
I own a home in the Dominican Republic.
Thanks.
I own a home there.
Yeah, so what I'm
Rico, it seems like Rico, you seem to talk about Dominican Republic. I'm a Dominican Republic expert as well.
Oh no, let me respond to something King said. King, this is a Passport Bro audience. People are going to have their pushback talking point. Nothing is meant to disrespect, but we having a healthy dialogue, and so people have been encouraged to speak their mind and for it to respond to. So, that's part of, that's part of the chat. That's something. That's a fair question that Passport Bros give to a lot of people that don't have passports. That is a legitimate,
What's a
rebuttal.
legitimate question?
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Well, wait. I'm just wondering what he's saying is a legitimate question. I'm confused.
Yeah, you could tell Brooklyn GQ that see, unlike everybody else, I have Instagram. So if you want to see me try, you go on there, and my followers is way bigger than my.
Are we still talking about Brooklyn GQ's comment about me not being able to comment on?
No, I'm talking about.
I don't have a passport. Or
No, I'm talking about. He made another comment, but I'm just saying that
okay.
this is a dialogue, and just like Mr. No Excuses said, we got to have this. We're gonna have this healthy, respectful dialogue. But if you want to, we could trade pictures. If we want to, we could trade real pictures, not no crop, no stupid. We don't want to do that, right?
Can I interject real quick?
He misses Asia, but he ain't talking about a woman.
Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead. So brother,
Mr. Real Estate, hold on. Mr. Real Estate, you have a lot of questions directed because you're curious about travel because you have not traveled yet.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's a lot of benefits, but some of the people you're associating specifically to Passport Bros aren't necessarily Passport Brothers. Real quick. Wait. Let me finish.
No, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm asking No Excuses to move the comment so that I can see you because right now you're blocked to ask.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So not everybody that you named is part of Passport Brothers. They have their own YouTube channels. They're not necessarily a part of the Facebook group, but you can't associate everybody that travels to us. Or even to Black Men's Travels Facebook group. We're all individuals at the end of the day. No one group is responsible for anybody's actions. But to your point, just like Rico touched on, he invested in property in Dominican Republic. If you understand exchange rates, as a smart man, it behooves you to earn money in the United States and utilize your money in other countries where
that's economics 101. Yep.
Okay, so you can go invest in Mexico, even go down to Cancun. Condos are about 175 to 250,000 right there on the beach. You can Airbnb that sucker real quick and turn a profit every month.
I mean, to be fair,
stop. Let me finish because you talk. Listen, you've held the conversation for a while. You've held the conversation for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting you know you're talking about something that's not very easy. You're speaking of it like it's very
where you can own land, and there's countries where you can't because you have to marry into that country. You have to marry somebody that is a resident of that country. But there's countries where you can invest money. There's countries where you can buy condos. As a real estate person, you should know that.
My name is Mr. Real Estate, and I can tell you that it's very risky for an investor to.
It is absolutely not.
It's very risky for an investor in the United States to invest in a different state. So what are you talking about investing in a different country? That's highly risky. What are you talking about? If I live in California, it's very risky for me to invest in New York.
Listen, I understand the real estate market. I come from the insurance business.
Mr. Real Estate, a lot of guys are actually doing that. A lot of guys do own land and property in these countries.
Hold on, let me finish. This is between me and him. Let me finish. You're talking about a volatile market in the United States right now. The market is really volatile on real estate. Okay. But when you're talking about other continents where the money is consistently the same on the exchange rate, it's not as volatile there. That's why when you even get into investments, there's multi-tier investments for other national currency. It's not all just American money. You're using your information based on the United States alone to make a general judgment on how world economy works.
Extensively, and he's also a real estate developer. So I ask you, Conversations with King, is investing outside of your local market highly risky or not?
Hold on 1 second. I don't want to make this a real estate conversation, but
I'm gonna be honest with you.
King, be 1 second, brother. Respectfully, 1 second. We're about halfway through. Give me a minute to roll through some travel pics, some travel vids, and then we'll get back to the discussion. I'm going to start back in the order of people came in. Conversation with King, Rico.
I just wanted to make sure my credentials were good.
Oh yeah, you good,
you can
brother.
Speak about it because you got a passport.
You good, brother. But let me roll these clips.
May I comment on that video real quick? That was amazing, by the way.
Go ahead. Let me do an order real quick.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Let me do an order real quick. Conversation with King, brother. The floor is yours. You on mute.
So I want to say, first of all, that conversation was amazing between the dialogue between Frosty and Mr. Real Estate. And it adds value because Black man, we were talking about travel without talking about women. So that's the conversations I came here for. And I respect the fact that he was Mr. Frosty was giving another perspective to Mr. Real Estate without being condescending, right? And they were going back and forth because he has expertise in real estate in America and you have expertise overseas, right? But we want to also know that right now we live in, no matter where you are, economics is highly volatile right now in any country you go to, right? There is a good investment to invest in overseas, but not for beginner investors. That's not something I would want people to risk their last on. I wouldn't do it, right? But what I will say is you get more bang for your buck. Mr. Frosty is not lying. You get more bang for your buck. But I think Mr. Real Estate is talking about, hey, guess what? That's not something I would encourage young men to do. Maybe men who are seasoned, who have money and resources to do that. That's what I'm getting from it. I don't know if that's what everybody else is getting from it. But another thing too is I'm so happy that we all could be on this panel and have this discussion, not just about women, because we all men, we love women, but also have about how can you benefit from living overseas. And this is a discussion that someone like Mr. Real Estate, who's going to get his passport, needs to be hearing, not, oh, you don't have it, so you don't have a voice. That's like telling somebody, oh, you never went to college, so don't talk to my college. Then he's not, okay, then I don't want to go. I don't need that. You're pushing people back. Or, oh, you never been married, so don't tell me about. No, we can't do that. We can't ostracize people. If I don't know what the passport brother community is, but Clay, Mr. Frosty says, you are attaching people who are not a part of our community to our group. But if your group is exclusive, if it's passing exclusivity and excluding people because they don't have certain requirements, I don't want to be a part of that group. I want to be a part of, I told you, it's becoming very elitist. It's becoming very elitist, and that's not what we want, right? Isn't this group to encourage, from what I heard from Mr. Black Man, he says, to encourage more people to travel for cultural capital. Am I right or wrong, Mr. Black Man? So if you're being like Brooklyn GQ, no disrespect to you, brother, we're having a spicy conversation, so don't take anything personal, then you can't talk to a person like that. You can do what you want, but remember, you're becoming an elitist group. And when you become that elitist group, then you're going to have a lot of pushback. Mm-hmm. The conversation that Frosty had with Mr. Real Estate, that was a more inclusive conversation. Brother, you should, I know you don't got it, but if you do get it, before you take the girls out, buy real estate.
and
like,
also
that's the conversation I'm here for. I'm not here for that other
even though it was a little bit contentious. I mean, Frosty hit it on the head. He said, well, Mr. Real Estate, you saying we all leading with sex? Well, I'm leading with real estate. But my pushback was, well, if it's a man like me, right? Say I'm not Mr. Real Estate, I've never invested before, and I'm thinking about going overseas. And if one of the top reasons is to invest overseas, I mean, that's a highly risky thing, but I see how it's a much more beneficial thing to promote than the sex tourism approach. So we definitely agree on that. But no excuses, man. I got a lot of respect for you, but I gotta call a spade, brother. I gotta call a spade.
I'm gonna get to you real quick. I want to circle in order. Let me give Rico to Rico. You got the floor.
Oh, okay. What am I really just tapping in again? No, I think the conversation is great. I think it's good that we're getting a lot of this stuff out. Because again, and so far, everything that I've been hearing is what I kind of always thought. Again, I tell you, I am with you guys on the passport bro philosophy because I'm preaching that more of us need to travel and get the hell out of America. Even if we come back, I think that as a black man, you should travel to see more of the world because it will open and change your perspective. I'm not saying you got to stay somewhere. You can come back and be with a woman here. It will make you more well-rounded. I think that's most of our problems is that here in America, we live in segregated societies, so we develop a segregated mindset. And only when you get out of your bubble in another country and you start to see people that look like you in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, in South America, Central America, people don't understand. I heard a conversation earlier, and they talked about, which I didn't realize till like the last 4 or 5 years, that like Mexico has 1.5 million Afro-Mexicans they were never counted until 2015. Until 2015, Mexico never counted their African descendants. I'm not sure what part of the coast they're on, but these people are indigenous African. They're the same as we are. As we're African Americans, they're African Mexicans. They're not mixed. They're the descendants. So we're everywhere, and we only know that when we leave and we go and we travel and we open our freaking mind. So I'm 1,000% for the Passport Brothers, traveling, going and learning. And you can't learn everything from a damn book. You can't learn everything on the internet. There's a learning from experiencing and smelling and touching and tasting and talking to people that's unbelievable. But I just say, again, make sure we're honest about everything, that we put everything out there. So I don't scare anybody off because I'm pushing my kids to do it. But I'm like, hey, the biggest thing is I would tell my son, be careful. When you're in another country, that's their rules. They don't give a damn about America. Don't be somewhere else about, I'm an American. That don't mean nothing there. Knock it off. Be respectful. Respect their laws. Respect their culture. Respect their language. And other than that, I want more people to travel. The mongering is a real part. Let's not act like it doesn't exist. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Real Estate, you got the floor. Unmute yourself, brother.
Mr. Frosty, remember there's people getting killed in Cancun too. You didn't talk about that part.
Facts. How many of
talk
your
about people
brothers
getting
have y'all
killed in
buried?
Cancun and robbed.
Come on
You didn't
now.
talk about people getting robbed in Cancun.
We're going to get
Still
there.
all over,
We're
yeah.
going to get there.
So no excuses. Like I said, I got great respect for you, brother, but I gotta call a spade, and unfortunately, it's fallen on you right now. The biggest pushback that I hear when I talk about y'all heavily promoting the sex tourism thing is, well, no, that's a small percentage of us. That's not really us. Da 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 da. I mean, you just shared that video, and that video was nothing but woman after woman after woman. Wait, hold on. Extremely sexualized. That was basically a sex tourism highlight video.
Can you see it again? I must have missed it. Can you see it again?
Booty clapping and everything. Come on now.
Show it again. I missed
But look,
it.
though, this is the
No.
caveat, though. Listen,
Run it back.
I'm gonna
Run
let
it
you
back.
finish.
If you stand by your content, drop us down again and run that back for everybody. There's about 20 new people in the chat who ain't seen it. Run that shit back for us. Come on.
I'll run it back, but listen though, I'm married now. I did my pay for play, and I was looking for a wife. That was my primary objective while I was having fun, and I could say that I have a foreign wife.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, sir.
You know what I mean? You really want me to play that back?
Play that shit back. Play it back.
No.
Play it back. Yeah.
We
Play it
said
back.
no.
Play it
No.
back.
That's not the point of this conversation.
Right.
Okay, let's
Then
keep
why
it
play it in
moving.
the first place?
Wait,
Then why
let me
play
ask
it
you a
in the
question.
first place?
Let me ask you a question. No excuses and Mr. Real Estate.
Yeah.
And maybe Rico could jump in, Frosty as well. Is
Everybody
it
knows
Colombia,
that
baby.
replay.
Colombia.
The people in the chat want to see it.
Is it really about being a passport brother or being able to have people accept that you have a foreign wife? Because you said I have a foreign wife. No excuses. You said I was out there doing what I would do, but I have a foreign wife. So is it more so black men travel, or is it more so embracing having foreign wives?
I don't
It's
understand
about
the question,
all.
though.
Let me.
The question's confusing.
I don't understand the question.
The question is basically because he justified going out there by saying, "Hey, listen, my whole time out there, I was looking for a wife."
Okay.
Right. So my thing is it more so for those who go out there? Is it more so men travel or go and look for a foreign wife in order to get a foreign wife?
Can you please
Okay, I
play
see
it
what
back?
you're saying.
Everybody in the
You get what
chat
I'm
is
saying? You get what I'm
run it
saying,
back.
Rico?
Everybody in the
Oh,
chat
all right,
is
let me put time out.
Rather than What I'm saying, Mr.
Give
No
the people what they
Excuses,
want.
I guess what he's saying is,
I understand the
you say-
question.
I
understand the question.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Then.
I understand the question. The chat. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want me to replay the videos. If y'all missed it, put a 2 if y'all don't want me to replay it.
That video is not a good look, bro. Just letting you know now. It goes against completely what you're saying.
Thank you, black man.
All right, but
if anything, at least show my
like
content. My content shows actually traveling.
I see ones. I see more ones.
But black man, you see what we're talking about now, though, right?
I'm gonna do several things.
But you see what we're talking about, black man. That's what we're saying is the algorithm will push that.
I see your point, Rico.
Let me answer his question. Let me answer
Rico too, please.
Let me answer
a lot
his
of ones.
question.
Damn.
So, conversation with King, you have a valid point. I did a poll. I did a poll in 2 Facebook groups. I asked guys, do you rather travel for pay for play, or are you looking for a wife, or are you want to have a baby overseas? I would say about 40% said that they strictly travel to have fun.
Oh wow.
20% said that they traveling looking for a wife or relationship, and another 20% said that they would rather procreate overseas.
That's 80% though. You're missing 20.
And then the other it was different categories, but it was spread out. So those are kind of.
Can you say that one more time? Can you please say that one more time? I'm missing something. Hold up.
40 wanted paid for play.
Wait, 40%.
About 40% is not looking for a wife. Is not looking for a girlfriend.
40 want to procreate with no wife.
Okay.
They just want a baby mama. 40%.
No, 40, not no marriage, no babies, just having fun.
And 40 baby mama.
No, 20. Don't say
20 married.
20 want to have
a wife.
20% would rather have a foreign baby than an American baby.
So
another
no commitment.
Then another 20% would rather have a foreign relationship than an American relationship. So to
do you know what you just said?
So 40% wanted a baby mama.
No. Hold on.
I didn't say baby mama. You changed the narrative.
That's what they are.
Hold on real quick, y'all. Based on your own calculations, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but really 80% are traveling for sex or relationships in one facet or another, whether it's no commitment, whether it's a marriage, or whether it's just for a baby. If 40% is strictly sex and no commitment, and another 20% is to get married, and another 20% is because they prefer to have a foreign child, that's all sex and relationships, right?
No, sex is universal. Men want to have sex whether they're in the U.S. or overseas. You know what I mean?
I didn't hear travel in there. I didn't hear learning about new cultures in there.
I got some other people.
Relationships.
I got another passport bro in the chat. I'm gonna give him the floor to speak. Roll the tape.
What's up, fellas, man? Just enjoying this conversation, man. You know, but you just made a good point. No excuse, man. I mean, it's guys in America just having sex, mongering right here in America. What's wrong with a brother if he want to go to another country to monger? He's a grown man, taking care of responsibility, making his own money, not doing nothing illegal in the next country. And he should be able to monger without somebody coming on the panel trying to shame somebody for mongering. You know, and you got a lot of trolls in this chat, man. These women going in on the chat. You know, I want to respond to them, but
roll the tape. Who on the panel shame for mongering? Because I said mongering.
Well, that's pretty much what the real estate guy's saying. Most people are going over there for sex, and when most people go to the nightclubs and bars to pick up a girl here in America, I mean, what's the difference? Just like the lady said in the chat, if you trick here, you go trick overseas, all right? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, you're a grown-ass man, you're not breaking no laws. I feel like you should do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Agree with that.
But it's always
that's your question.
And hold on, I want to address a few things. I can't stay on long because I got another live that I'm going on. But you guys talked about the real estate earlier, which you made a lot of sense, Mr. Frosty. You said, you know, you buying these properties in other countries. A lot of times you buying these properties for a fraction of the price. You're putting them on Airbnb and you're getting USD. So you saying that it's a risky business. I mean, if you pick the right market in these countries, if you know these countries you know, the areas, man. It's a win-win.
And I
And a
can be
lot
a
of
billionaire
times,
in crypto if I pick the right crypto stocks, right?
No,
I mean, crypto
is a
is
gamble.
more volatile, way more volatile than real estate. But I mean, listen, man, you gotta be willing to lose in order to win. So
Right.
any property you get is gonna be a risk.
Yeah, Richie, can I say something?
And every time I
go
want
ahead,
to check
man.
up
Go
on
ahead.
that property, I got to get on a plane.
I want to say something as a person that deals with property and renovations and just a whole bunch of stuff. You know how hard it is to deal with contractors in America. Could you imagine dealing with contractors overseas?
Different language.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in that case, man, you can buy a property that's a new build and rent it out direct like that. I mean, you don't have to build from the ground up. You don't have to do
Okay,
it.
let me ask a question to Mr. Frosty.
And let me one question, King. Roll the tape. You do know that overseas, and I know in the DR, they sell property they don't even own.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
you
a
got to
different
do your due
discussion.
diligence.
That's a different
You have to do your homework. You know, you have to do all that stuff.
Before
Yeah.
we get too deep, can we run that tape back one more time?
Let's be honest about
Well, and that's another thing I want to talk about. A few of you guys want to see the tape again, but then you saying you don't want to see these type of videos on YouTube. So which one is it now?
Facts.
Which one is it?
I love
Which one is it now?
Let me
I look
answer.
for
Wait.
it.
I'm the one who requested him to run it back, so let me answer his question.
Roll
Right
the tape.
now,
I look for it.
right now, I'm also streaming on my channel, and it's a blank screen that says click the link to see me live with no excuses. So I'm driving traffic over here. My people are filling the chat. They're coming late, and most of those ones were from people who didn't see the tape. They don't know what we're talking about. So I just
But
want
why
the
would you
people who
want to
haven't seen
promote
it.
those type of videos and you just
I
was
want them
critiquing
to
I want to make a
understand
point.
what I'm critiquing. I
No,
want them
it's
to
'cause it's nice to
understand
look
what
For
I'm
at.
context, to have context.
to have
Yes.
context.
Excuse me.
Come on.
Excuse me. It's nice to look at. There's nothing wrong with it. All I ever said from the beginning was,
Well,
will you guys be honest?
here's
about
my page in front of you
Let me
guys.
ask you something.
I'm actually
Why are
highlighting
y'all so
actual
upset
travels.
with him running
How
it back?
many twerk videos is actually on YouTube? How many
Somebody
Just
looking
run
at
it
strip
back
club
and stop
videos?
being mad.
And you
Why
worry
are
about
you
a
so
few
mad about him
brothers
running it back?
showing a girl walking around in the skirt. Who is that?
Just run the
man?
tape
Come
back.
on,
It's
man.
okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
I look at it all. I look at
Just
the
go ahead and
twerks.
play the video.
I look
I
at
understand
Okay.
he really doesn't want us
all
to
of
show
it.
the video, but
Hey, brothers. Okay, hey, brothers. Let me stay in order. So I'm gonna let Black Man Travels have the floor, but real quick, I'm just showcasing his YouTube page real quick, and if you guys could see, so this is his YouTube page, Black Man Travels, and his travel is a little bit more palatable for the broader audience. You know,
Oh no, I need the twerking videos. Where they at?
come on.
let me go through this brother's. Let me just highlight some of this brother's content, and then I'm gonna give him the floor. So some of his topics include he did a recent talking about Black men health issues. We talked about one changing the narrative, and then he has a lot of videos related to just scenery and things like that. So this is I don't know what country this is, but this is Cartagena. This is like an Afro tour in Cartagena, and then he has different things on Colombia, Ecuador, glamping. So yes, this brother has a lot of nice travel.
Yep.
Subscribers?
He has 507.
Oh, I saw Sasua there too. I saw Sasua.
He has 507 subscribers.
507, about almost 570 subscribers.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but this is exactly what the problem is. If you're saying that this dude isn't taking the sex approach, he's taking an altruistic travel approach. He's not controlling the narrative, though. He's the minority as far as the people on YouTube promoting this stuff.
And this is actually the better content.
Yeah.
This
is what should be highlighted, but this is not what's highlighted at all.
Yes.
I'm gonna put his channel in the comments so you guys
Definitely
can go and
need to
subscribe.
push this.
Hell yeah.
content.
If any
This
of
is
y'all
the
want to see some
content we
travel that
should
ain't just
see.
about twerking and jerking, go over there and subscribe to him.
All right, cool.
With that said, can you please run that video back because my people
Say something about Sasua.
coming late.
King, you say something about Sasua?
It's Black Man's Travels. He has the floor now.
I'll go.
Yeah, King, you say something about Sasua? Yeah, I actually passed.
When he was going through that part, I saw.
Yeah, okay.
So how did you cover that part? So
Sasua, I didn't cover nothing about the strip. I strictly focused on the beach. focused on the restaurants that I was eating at, and that's it.
Okay, perfect.
If
That's
you look
what
at if you actually go through my videos, I'm not promoting not a single woman in that group in my
right.
video.
So it's a tale of two cities, right? This is what I mean. Like you have the better content, right? That I will have my nephew or niece watch. But as for my friends, when they're downtime and it's a rainy day in New York, they're gonna go for the twerk thing. Unfortunately.
I mean, but
So,
at the same time, King, my audience are 40 plus. The age group is 40 plus.
I'm 42.
I'm 44. I'm 44. So for me, my content focus targets that particular group. I'm not targeting 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds looking for a quick fuck. I'm targeting guys that got the disposable income, that have the interest and desire to explore new things. Even like I talk about health and wellness, just travel, just anything that expat community, remote life. I mean, those things that I talk about. So I don't target at 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. I target 40 plus. Because these are the ones that got the disposable income to get up and go and do the things they want to do.
No excuses. People in the chat said, "Are you running the tape back or are they leaving?" Come
let
on,
me
say one thing before I leave.
Yeah, go ahead,
Don't
bro.
leave, y'all. Don't leave.
All right, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Anybody can answer it. So why are black men traveling to other countries? What's the reasons why they not wanting to date in America no more? It's got to be a reason, right?
So why are you once again leading with dating? Why is this always being led with dating?
Well, they don't have to be dating. Why are they going to other countries to see other
women? Roll the tape.
Whether it's mongering or not.
But roll the tape. I'm leaving to go to the DR because I'm sick of the fucking racism in America. It has nothing to do with dating.
Well,
I'm
that's
sick
cool
of
too.
fucking America.
That's
a lot
cool
of
too.
black men should be leaving America because America is so fucked up for black men, and there are better other countries that we can thrive in.
Yeah, but that's misleading. Rico, that's misleading because if you were Haitian, you lived in Espanol, they would feel the same way. They say, I gotta get out of the DR, Espanol.
I get that.
Right, and also it's misleading. I keep on trying to tell you. There's a quote by my father that says, "Every place is home if you have money."
But I ain't got enough
the
money.
reason why a lot of black people travel is because they don't have enough money to make a home in America.
And King, I don't disagree
LeBron's
with you,
not leaving America.
I don't disagree.
LeBron's not leaving America.
But I don't disagree.
Hold on. So you saying brothers travel because they don't have enough money?
No,
but
you heard what I said.
Money
please
travel?
don't twist up my words, please.
Well, go ahead.
You heard what I said.
Go ahead.
I said it's a quote by my father. Every place is home if you have money, right? And because the amount of money that you have gives you the amount of liberties and freedoms in America, it's capitalistic. So I said, do you ever see LeBron trying to leave America? That's the question I asked you.
But King, here's the question. And let me ask you.
I mean, you got celebrities, you got rich people that move to other countries.
No, I said, okay, name one that goes there to live. Do you ever see LeBron trying to leave America?
No.
You got some rappers that live in Africa right now. I don't have to name drop. I'm just telling you, bro. That's reality. It doesn't matter how much money you have, man. The money doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't, man. No, it doesn't.
It does matter how much money you have, and this is the
money
reason why.
Does matter, but I will tell you guys why.
King is hitting it on.
You guys acting like if you're rich, you gotta stay in America. Come on, man.
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
Listen,
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
King hit it on the head. The people who are truly wealthy in America don't spend as much effort or time trying to go over abroad and set up shop, and the reason is this: a lot of these people, these passport bro community, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all are middle class folks, and you're leveraging the fact that your money goes longer over there.
Thank you. He said it.
But why does it matter though? Does it matter where your place?
I never said it.
It ain't all about the economics, man. Rico just told you he goes over there to get away from the Matrix.
Brother,
he just told you that.
And his money goes longer, right, Rico?
His first reason was to get out the Matrix.
No.
And the money goes on.
It's living proof right here on the panel, but you still denying it.
No. Listen, you're not listening to me at least. I'm just saying to you, brother. I'm not saying. You know what the Matrix is? The Matrix is basically the injustices of Western society. That's what it is, right? So they want to get out the Matrix, and the only way to get out the Matrix is to have money to leave. And those who don't want to get out the Matrix is because the Matrix supports their livelihood and their lifestyle. This is why there's people.
You just say you gotta have money to leave.
Let me finish, because you just
But you
put
saying they
you,
leaving because they don't
but
have
you're not
money.
hearing my no.
So-
You're hearing, don't tell me.
Why is
Don't
it
tell me
so
what I'm
hard for
saying.
you to
Tell
understand?
me what you're
If I
hearing.
go on a vacation right now overseas, the only thing I got to worry about is $1,000 plane ticket, and then my funky 500 can stretch me 3 weeks depending on the country I go
You
to.
can't
So
do that in
yes,
New York.
Yeah,
Listen,
right.
you can't do that in
listen.
New York.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
right. What are you talking
Let me
about? If I go to Thailand with $500,
How
I
do
can
you
live
know?
in Thailand.
How do you know?
Because I watch
I've been
y'all.
there.
That's why. Because I watch
I've
Doom
been
to
there.
Thailand, and he promotes how
$500
long
in
y'all can
Thailand
stay
for
in
3
Thailand.
There
weeks.
are
Still,
levels to this traveling thing,
man,
man.
you
Don't think
tripping,
$500
man.
is gonna get
But
you
this
by.
is what this no
It's
no
an
hold on.
Come on,
example.
guys.
It's a
Black
rough
black
example.
man,
It's
black
a
man,
rough example.
on,
You know
man.
it.
black
You know
man,
it's a
You
rough
black
tripping,
man,
man.
black
But
man.
money
Check this
goes
out.
further.
let-
Money
let-
goes
Black
way
man,
further.
black man, check this out. Black man, check this out. Because I see what Rich is trying to do, and he's trying to negate the fact that I made the most powerful point, which is there's white, black, Asian people from their own country that don't have to come to America because they're living more better over there in those countries that you think
Correct.
is impoverished because they
Correct.
have money. There's
Correct.
levels to this, like Black Man says, and you don't have the level of money to make America comfortable for you, Rich. That's what you don't have.
Ooh, how you know what I got?
Because
Whoa.
I'm
You don't
telling
know
you, the way
nothing
you
about
talk,
me,
look at the
man.
way you're talking. You're
You don't know
telling me,
nothing about me, dude.
I'm
Yo, man,
telling you,
click
but
that
I'm
video.
telling
You
you,
don't know nothing about me and
I'm
my
telling you,
finances.
you don't have the
Trust
money.
me, you
You
don't.
don't have the money.
You don't know
I don't
me.
have the money
$100
either. I'm
US.
not a
I own a
billionaire.
business.
I don't have the
I own a
money.
business. I don't work for
Hold
nobody.
on,
US,
bro. The
guys.
tape.
I own a business. I make
$100
good
US.
money,
Okay.
brothers.
You don't.
Trust
You're
me.
not a billionaire, Rich.
Trust me. You
You're
don't
not
have
a
to be a
billionaire.
billionaire. You don't have
You're
to
not
be
a
a
billionaire.
A
billionaire.
blue face Benji. That's all it takes.
Man, y'all
$100 is
tripping.
$3,400 in
One minute
Thailand
you're
currency.
saying they don't have money.
$100 in
Then you
No, I
US
know.
is
saying
Put words in my
they
3,000
mouth.
have to
plus
have money to
Thailand.
travel.
And
Which
you
one
telling
is
me
it?
that the money
Then the
don't last
other guy
longer?
saying
Come on.
you
Everybody
can
understand me, but you make one thing clear. It's nothing. It's nothing hypocritical about what I'm saying.
Run it back. I didn't see it. Run it back. I got a one up.
Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna let all y'all brothers go, but let me
Oh,
get
Frosty
out.
didn't go yet. Frosty didn't go.
Can I speak? I
Yeah,
have
go
not
ahead.
gotten a
Go ahead.
speak.
Please,
Please make
Frosty.
it. Please, real quick, Alex.
Okay. So, like Black Man Travel said, there's different levels and there's also different ages of Black men traveling. Okay. Each age group, and no excuses, and indirectly has shown that as a younger brother, your objective when you travel is possibly going out to find trim, not necessarily looking to get tied down yet. But as you would get experience in travel and you get experience to the different cultures, you start looking at possibly settling down with somebody that might not be an American woman because you appreciate that culture's value in the women. Black men travel, he goes towards the 40s, the 40 and up. I go towards the 50 plus and up. We're getting closer to early retirement. I am in financial planning, retirement planning, and insurance. I don't advise people to play on the stock market. I value people's money, especially the money they're going to risk in retirement. So I don't tell them to go out and play the market. I try to flip people off of their 401ks, which are set at high risk, over to something like annuity. Okay. So I think of things where as you start getting your later years, I start advising you to start getting out of the market, start doing things that are safer. People, and I have a ton of clients in California right now. Okay. I've had clients that have sold their houses in California, built houses in Chihuahua, Mexico, living down there off of just the money he had in the house that he had in California. Okay. There's no reason to keep a 7-bedroom house when all your kids are grown, and you'll barely ever get all 7 kids to come back to the house at any one given time because they got their own lives. Okay. You have to be smart about how you spend your money, especially us as Black people in our culture. Okay. It is no shame in utilizing what white people have done for years by valuing the value of a dollar, especially an American dollar, when it comes to the economics all over the world. Okay. Now you're looking at Indonesia. $1 American dollar is 14,000 of their dollars.
Yes.
You would be dumb not to take advantage of that as an American, let alone Black or white. Our money has the value that it needs to have for us to take advantage. Other people go over and buy properties all the time. You hear when white people get divorced, it's not only a house in California or Florida. There's another house over in Italy. There's another house somewhere else in another culture, in another country. They have multiple houses all over the world.
Buy
You should
property,
not
not
limit
pussy, right?
yourself. You should not limit yourself to one property in one country.
Right.
Okay, you have to be smart about how you use your mind and your resources. We have gone too long by overextending ourselves, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and haven't reinforced our baseline of residual income. Okay, so depending on what age you are, you're going to have a different mindset when you travel. Yes, the younger ones are going to talk about trim. Even the older ones that got young minds, all they're going to be talking about is trim.
Time out.
Okay, hold up. But as you get older, you're going to start to change your mindset. You even said, Mr. Real Estate, you're looking to go around and look at different cultures to figure out what you're going to like. You're not going to know what you're going to like until you travel around a little bit. But as you get settled in that situation, you're going to start picking out the finite things that are deal breakers for you in that culture. Or even in the women you're dealing with as you travel. You might decide that you're going to settle down with an American woman and nothing else. Anybody that's talked to me in this group, they already know I take sand to the beach. What do you got to say about that? I take American women with me to other cultures.
All right, cool. I gotta respect everybody's time. I'm
just saying, there's other motives, and
that's what my book is for. That's what my book is about.
All right.
Okay. I like Mr. Frost.
Gotcha. Lee Prosper.
And he still don't got LeBron James money either, and I like him.
He brought up a good point. He brought up a good point. Damn, if that was South Beach, Miami, wouldn't nobody say shit? Exactly. I did a stream last week about people going to Miami, Vegas for the weekend, Freaknik. That's no different than going overseas, because men and women, they go to Miami to hook up. Some men go to Vegas to hook up. You know what I mean? It may not be pay for play in a lot of instances, but they are all going there to hook up. They going there because it's men there, and men are going there because it's women there. So Vegas, Miami vacations is no different than men going to DR or Thailand, or women going to Jamaica.
May I make a quick comment on that?
Yeah, let me run through everything, because I'm gonna let y'all brothers have it. Let me run through some things, and then I'll let you brothers have it. So, somebody in the comments made a comment on the videos about the video. So it's not contradicting. So like I said in the beginning, is that there are different brothers that have their end goal is different. My end goal was always to find a wife. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to experience having a family, because I have a child that's adult, but I didn't get to experience raising my son because of the cultures. You know what I mean? So I want to have that experience, and that I don't think I could get in the US. So I wanted to find a wife where I could, have a child and start a family in another country and have the experience that I've always been yearning for. You know what I mean? So a lot of black men, unfortunately, will never get to experience raising a child in a two-parent household in today's society. So for black men that want to experience that, a lot of us do have to go abroad, you know what I mean, to do that. You know what I mean? So I wanted to address that. And so my end goal was to find a wife, which through 6 years of traveling internationally, having fun in the meantime, I found the woman that I felt was worthy enough for me to marry her. And now I'm married to her this past April in Colombia. And what I'm showing you was things that I've done before marriage. Okay,
congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Roll the tape, had to dip out. So that's that. So there were some questions that came up. So I'm gonna go through these questions, and then I'm gonna let you brothers, have at it. So one of the first questions King conversation with King brought up was, do you think that foreign women are better, or is it because you can afford it? You know what I mean? My perspective is this. Most women innately are the same nowhere you go, innately. You know what I mean? Because you bring the matrix to those other countries, they will conform to what we have today. The difference with these countries is that is the laws that govern them. That's the primary difference between different countries, is the laws that govern them, because laws, in my opinion, dictate the culture. So I would rather put myself in a patriarch. Hold on, which one is ran by women? I would rather put myself in
Patriarchy is run by
matriarch is
men. Matriarchy is run by women.
So in America, we live in a matriarch society.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, we
in
don't.
America, we live in a patriarch society.
No, we don't.
That's
We do. It's just white men.
America is a matriarchal society.
No,
Don't
it's patriarchy.
fool
It's just white
yourself.
men.
Oh, y'all opened a can of worms.
Let me finish. Let me not lose the point. America, we live in a system.
Who
We
runs
live,
the
This is
world,
my
America,
type of
girls?
show, man.
Who runs the world,
America is a
girls?
country that is ran by primarily by women. I want
Not black
I
men.
want-
Just put it that way. Not black men. I agree.
Okay, so that's a Rico. So the other countries that we travel to are ran by men. You know, and you can agree to disagree on which system you prefer to be governed under, but I would rather put myself in a system that's governed by men. You know, so that's the primary difference as far as if they better or not. Can you afford it? It's common. Can you afford it? We kind of touched on that already. Yes.
Roe versus Wade says our country isn't run by women.
Yeah. Okay. But as far as economics go, it makes economical sense to go where you can get the most opportunity at. It's like the guys that be hating on the passport community. You know what I mean? A lot of them say things because they can't do it, and a lot of them say it because they make it seem like it's not fair. It's not fair that this brother could go to another country and get with this beautiful woman because he didn't do it the way that you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it by getting your money up in the U.S. and getting the same type of girl in the U.S. It's not fair because you skipping a line. That's kind of like the haters that I get. It's like brothers that travel overseas and post up with beautiful women. A lot of brothers look at that as we skipping a line or we're cheating. No, you supposed to do that here. No, you don't. You're supposed to do what you can in your life, because if I compare my resume to another brother that don't travel resume as far as dating and experiences, and I show that to a young 18-year-old, I'm gonna say, which outcomes would you like as far as living your best life? They're gonna look at my dating resume and be like, I want this resume. I don't care what this brother talking about, because he ain't getting none. You know what I mean? He trying to play this macho ego. Oh man, I'm too good for this or that. At the end of the day, it's about living your best life. The second thing is that, you know, Rico, shout out to Rico. He said you said your wife is from El Salvador, right?
Correct.
Okay, so he has a foreign wife. Let's see. We are, and there was a comment about, are we dating at the top? So like I said before, we don't have to date the creme of la creme of each country, because it's not like no one comes to the U.S. and gets the creme of la creme of a black woman. You know what I mean? Beyonce is with a Jay-Z for a reason. You know, so any guys that's dating like Nigerian men, African men that marry American women here, they're not getting the creme of the creme either. They're getting the baby mama. They getting the same thing too. So if it's cool in the U.S. for foreign men to date and marry our average women, I don't see a reason why it should be a problem of us going to another country and dating and marrying their average women. So that's my other point. So
by the way, you can fly a woman from overseas here too. That don't make no difference. It's
This is
cheaper
what I'm-
flying here too.
This is
all right,
what
let
I'm
me get through my list.
This is what I'm saying.
If y'all got rebuttals, take notes. If y'all got some in y'all head, just jot it down real quick. So another question was brought up. The leaders of the space are not being honest about women, about the women. So that's true. So we got some YouTubers that are big in the space. They promote these countries, but they don't necessarily talk about the pros and the cons. They just say, come here and travel. So yes, you're right. But there are content creators like myself, Black Man Travels, and others that show that talk about all facets. And somebody brought up a point in the panel, was that where are the wives? I did a stream on that. Where are the wives? Because a lot of brothers are traveling and they're saying how good these women is, but they never had a girlfriend. They never dated. They just mess with pros. So how can you talk about how good women is if you only mess with pros? So I do get that. You know what I mean? So we want to change the narrative with that. Somebody else brought up a point about guys falling in love quickly. Yeah, it happens. Guys have fell in love with prostitutes. Guys have fell in love and wanted to marry somebody quickly. It does happen, but that is not the norm. But it does happen. You know what I mean? And you know, there are sucker for love, but you gotta imagine. I know guys that married a woman or fell in love with a woman just the fact that she brought him a plate of food. You know how it's sad on both sides. It's sad for him because it's like, damn, like that's all you require is a woman to make you a plate of food. But it's sad on the other end too that you can't even get those basic things in the United States.
Facts, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's where foreign women have y'all beat. Yeah.
So I could understand why guys fall in love quickly, but that's still a minority. That's still a minority group, you know. And some of the things women say, they say, "Oh, you know, mail order brides." They say, "What's the other shaming things?"
It's true though.
They talk about mail order brides is a 1980s 90s term. People don't go on
nowadays we call it 90-day fiance. Same shit.
Okay,
that's a show. That's a
but
it's a show. It's a show, and it's something that happens in real life all the time.
But mail order brides
is the Sears and Roebuck catalog.
It's
from the 1800s.
To be fair, it's an outdated term.
Yeah, it's from the 1800s. That's all I'm saying.
It's an outdated term.
Yeah.
You know,
they
make these claims about STDs and AIDS rates when really cities like Atlanta is killing Brazil in AIDS. You know what I mean? So and the STD rates is one of the highest in the world in the United States. So when people want to talk about what's going on in other countries, we need to look at ourselves. I seen a video where a woman said a guy was all guys got to do is give a woman $30 in a bag of rice. You know how ignorant that sounds?
Hey Rob,
Minnesota, what you talking about? $30.
Hey Rob, I want to chime in on that particular statement.
Okay, you get a chance. Let me get through these questions that was presented in the beginning. Then you can respond to that.
How many questions you got?
Word.
Man, it's been a long string. I got three more. I got 3 more talking points, and then I'm gonna pass it over. But yeah, like I said, it's ignorant to say that men are getting women for a bag of rice, or they're impoverished. Like it's just like women overseas that we go to, they eat. They got food to eat. It's not like they're on their last leg or anything like that.
And it's cheap.
The money that they using is usually for materialistic things or it's just to make ends meet. So it's not because they're impoverished. You know what I mean? They just as well off as a woman making $20,000 a year in the US or $30,000.
Why are they busting it open for tourists?
Because we tricked.
Man.
Let's say somebody mentioned about dying in the hand of hookers. Some guys have went overseas and died. Got set up and things like that.
Some guys have done it domestically. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
But it's a minority. That's a minority. Somebody mentioned that passport bros are lonely and desperate. Not all. There are some. You know what I mean? But most average guys are not getting looked at. Kevin Samuels pointed that out. Average guys are being overlooked. So what you expect them to do? They supposed to be happy being alone. They don't want to be alone.
No, that's crazy.
You know, and then the last point is that somebody in the chat said mongering sounds predatory. So what does predatory mean? Taking advantage of the weak. You talking about capitalism where the rich take advantage of the poor? You talking about predatory as in an athlete or entertainer? Hollering at a chick on Instagram with 100,000 followers, but she doesn't have furniture in an apartment. That type of predatory. So So let's try to put things in perspective.
I think you're not understanding their comment respectfully. If I remember that comment, what they were referring to was, I think, Roll That Tape was saying that we were seeming like we were acting that way towards you guys, and he was saying, hey, to say we're mongering is kind of predatory.
I got
Sugar Bomb just commented, says she made that comment.
Oh, Sugar Bomb?
Your followers, yes.
Well, if you can clarify, who did you think was mongering, the passport bros or us?
She was referring to the passport bros, but yeah, I'm finished with my catching up.
All right.
So let me give y'all the order so we know. So Black Man Travels, so Black Man Travels can speak, and then we'll go from Black Man Travels. We'll go to Alex. We'll go to Mr. Real Estate. We'll go to Rico, and then we'll go to Conversations with King.
Actually, we already went around in a circle. It should go back to.
Well, I'm going back one more time. So I'm going to let Black Man Travel speak, and then I'm going in reverse order.
All right, cool.
All right.
There is a false perception that these people in these countries are poor. You'd be amazed what the amount of income, middle class, upper class. These folks live better than us in the United States. And again, I've been to many countries where I could see how the upper class lived, the middle class lived. When I was in South Africa, the amount of Range Rovers that I seen, Maseratis and all that stuff, that these were Black Africans that were actually driving. Now, granted, if you want to stay in a $25 hotel, then yes, you're going to see certain things that you're common to seeing. But for me, in my case, I'm not staying at a cheap ass place. I'm staying where the middle upper class folks stay with. When I go to these countries, I'm not messing with broke women. These women have degrees. These women are professionals. So again, this false perception that everyone is hungry, everyone needs your dollar, that's not the case. You'd be amazed. There's a lot of folks that don't give one fucks about the United States and have no
Y'all
desire
buying
to
them
come
water
here.
heaters then. Y'all over there tricking and buying girls water heaters, but they ain't poor? Okay.
Again, you speaking for someone that never been there, so or never travel outside the country, so you have no say on this. But again, I'm speaking from my experience. I'm speaking based on my experience. Again, I'm speaking from my experience that I've seen how the upper class, the middle class, and the working class and the poor class operate. It depends where you fall into. You can't assume that everyone's on that same poor shit. Not everyone's like that, and also too, these countries are not as poor as everyone wants you to think it is. These people are not going to bed starving and hungry, man. It's just like this falls.
And why are they called third world countries then?
I don't know. This is probably what the
You
United
don't
States.
know. You don't know why they're called a third world impoverished country? Are you serious right now?
I mean, well, it's technically when people refer to third world countries, it's a comparison to the first world powers.
Bingo.
And first world powers are usually countries that are independent, they could sustain for themselves, and then you have the second world powers, which is BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These are the emerging powers that could sustain an economy without importing anything. They have
Thank you. Thank you.
The official definition of a third world country is a country that is outdated. It's a developing nation characterized by a population.
There are no more developing
Shit, you got fucking people that live in California living in third world countries. I'm sorry. In the state of California, you have a lot of homelessness, a lot of poor people and stuff that live in a situation like that. So please, come on, man.
So allow me to just tell the definition for
there are no more developing nations, so don't use that term.
The official definition to this day of a third world country is a developing nation characterized by a population with low and middle incomes and other socioeconomic difficulties. They're not middle class, they're poor countries. And you're really going to act like you're over there tricking with the wealthiest of the girls over there. No, you're not.
Who the fuck say who's tricking, man? It's just like you just talking out of your fucking ass, bro.
No excuses said he was tricking. So what are you talking about? He admitted it.
Just to add on, what he said, when he says developing countries, it is a fact though. America is one of the few places that there is a middle class. A lot of places that's either rich or poor. And I think what Black Man's saying is that you only talk about the poor. There's some rich people that will blow America out.
Y'all still tricking.
Oh, well, that's y'all have your own little battle. I don't know.
Here's the thing:
I'm just trying to.
Tricking is universal, okay? Tricking is
that's
universal.
the point that needs to be said is that there in these other countries, I agree. Because even in DR, there are rich people with Range Rovers and BMWs and Mercedes, but they're the wealthy. And then you go to the poor.
There's no middle class.
The middle class, the sliver of the middle. In America, the biggest class is the middle class.
Yes.
And that's what we're so accustomed to because it's just it's roughly 330 million Americans and probably 150 million of them are middle class. So we have a very small upper class, we have a huge middle class, and we have a moderately sized lower class. Other countries, they have a small upper class and just a huge fucking lower class. And there's
the upper
no
class
middle.
is men.
And that's
y'all ain't
literally
going over there to meet no men. Y'all going over there to meet women.
Hold on.
So
Mr. Real Estate. if you're somebody that's interested in truly traveling and learning, it would be advisable to possibly listen to some of these people that have traveled and pull from their knowledge.
I've listened and reacted to
hold
their
on.
content. What are you
You're
talking about?
interjecting a lot of
I've already
pot
listened.
shots
I've already
on
listened.
things that you don't have any
I've listened
actual
to hours of
Hold on,
content
did
from
Black
your
Man
leaders.
Travels? Did he
O'Shea
finish?
Jackson is your leaders of the Passport Bro.
No, he's
community,
not.
And I've reacted.
Time out.
Wait,
Hold on,
wait,
let me-
wait,
let me-
wait.
guess what? Make a clarification
Y'all
real
need to
quick.
repair that
Who's
image.
your-
then.
Point of
Y'all need to
clarification.
repair that image before
this
from
dude
the
talking
outside looking
clarification,
in.
Mr.
From the
Real Estate.
outside looking in, we think O'Shea Jackson is
Mr.
your
Real
daddy.
Estate, Mr. Real Estate,
Right,
point of,
Right,
point, of,
Rico?
point of clarification. I
You
don't
think
want
O'Shea is
people to
your daddy.
overtalk each other. I'm not going to take too much. Point of clarification. O'Shea Duke Jackson has he does not consider himself a passport bro.
Thank
he
you.
is just kind
Part
of
of
like
the
a
Black
founder.
Manosphere.
He is just he just considers the black manosphere. But he talks to passport bros. He has a relationship with
So
passport
he's
bros.
affiliated with you guys.
No,
He does not consider
You
himself
just said
a
he has a
passport
relationship
bro.
with you guys, right? A
He's the-
relationship.
He's the man. He's the founder of the Black Manosphere. The Black Manosphere is a space for men talking. So he interacts with PUA coaches. Which
Who's
is
the founder of the Black Brothers? Who's the founder?
Who is y'all leader?
There's no founder, man. Black men been traveling
started it?
fucking ages.
Right.
Like what's up
Who
with all
came
these
up with the
leaders
name
and founders,
Passport Bros?
shit, man?
Who came up with the name Passport Bros? Don't
The-
act
the-
ignorant. Who
the-
came
the-
up with the name?
That's what, bro. The name itself has been out there for
The
years,
hater-
No,
the
way
ha-
before.
The hater.
We've never heard of no
The
Passport Bros.
PU,
until
the
recently.
PU, the
Dude,
pickup
speaking-
artist coach called us passport bros.
Who?
The pickup artist coach, the dating
Okay.
coaches, the ones that their main focus is to get
Okay.
guys to date in America. So we are against their talking points. So they say those passport bros as we're like fleas on the wall. Those
Oh, so y'all turn something negative into positive. That's dope. That's dope.
right. So I want Black Man Travels to finish his talking points. So
I'm
then
good.
so
I'm
then
good,
I
man.
can- then
How do I
Passport
sign
Bros is a new
up?
term, right?
Let me
It's
ask
a
you a
very, very
question.
new term.
Let
or
me
what?
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I want to be a passport bro. How the fuck do I sign up?
Thank you.
It's not a sign
I'm
up.
just
If you-
curious.
Appreciate
I know- how do I come into the space? No,
Join a
I'm not
Facebook
being
group.
facetious.
I
I'm
mean,
not being joking.
truly, all you have to do is join a Facebook group.
That's it.
That's
So
all it is.
what I'm
It's a
saying.
Facebook group. There is no main person.
What
Thank you.
once you decide you're done with the Matrix or done with Western culture, you're gonna say, because there's already brothers that say, you know what, I'm about to get my passport.
Now let me ask you a question. No excuses, right? Okay. So when you say you're done with the Matrix, you're done with Western culture. You're currently still sitting your ass in a Western culture right now today, right?
Right. It's an ATM.
Okay.
The
Let me
Matrix
finish,
is
right?
you only deal with the Matrix to make money. That's it.
Again, right. So I'm just trying to walk this through in my head. So if it's
You're
like
still
okay.
paying taxes to IRS in Puerto Rico.
Because
at the end of the day,
because
right?
I said, no, stop. MRE, stop. Let me finish. Because I got a 27-year-old son that's saying, Dad, I want to go live overseas, this, that, whatever. He ain't got no kids, he ain't married. I'm like, okay, Antoine. And I'm like, first of all, you ain't coming to live in my fucking house because I know what you're thinking, right? But I'm trying to push him. He might want to go to Africa. He might want to go to Asia. I'm like, go somewhere else. But still, the whole process of when you guys say, okay, you're tapped out of Western society, whether it's Europe, whether it's Canada, whether it's the U.S., wherever, and you're going to go to a South American country, an African country, a Middle Eastern country, an Asian country, to be out of the matrix, you leave there, and then you land boots on the ground somewhere non-Western, and then you rebuild your life there. That's what I'm trying to get. And then you develop a kinship with other passport bros. And Frosty, you're in Mexico, right?
No.
Oh, you're not? Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I misheard. I apologize. But wherever, do you guys connect in the non-Western world? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm trying to educate myself.
Yes.
No judgment.
Yes,
Of course
we
we have
connect.
meetups.
Listen.
So you guys are an organization, right?
Listen. We're just like all other spaces of the manosphere. You got Red Pill. You got guys that talk about.
Why do y'all guys keep considering yourself part of the manosphere instead of just
why?
being passport bros?
Listen.
That's
Because
what I'm asking.
Listen, you're asking questions, but you're not letting me answer.
I'm sorry, but I don't like that whole manosphere part. That's why I think y'all mess up.
Because you're looking at it as something that it's not.
Passport, bro. Fuck the manosphere.
Rico, let me respond so we won't drag.
Right, sorry.
So the manosphere is a space for men, black men. Is a space for men to talk. That's what it is. We don't have traditional media outlets like newspapers, talk shows, TV shows, etc. So the manosphere is just a space for men to. It's just a media space, whatever forms of media it is. That's what the manosphere is. That's all it is. It's a space for men for a primarily male audience. That's what the manosphere is.
I'm not part of that.
It's very clean. It's a space for men to talk with the message and audience primarily for men. You know. So that's what the manosphere is. Within the manosphere, you got people that associate themselves with red pill. You got this black pill, and then you got Save Yourself Black Man, which is a different subset, and then you got the Passport Brothers, and it may be other parts, MGTOW as well. So I'm not finna break down all those things, but that's
what's up with all this cliquey little boys club stuff. I mean, I'm not understanding it.
It's people that have in common whatever they have in common. They have named it whatever things in common a group of men have. You know what I mean? They have made that in a space, just like women have their own spaces. They have different subsections of women, female media. You know,
yeah, but
I can't name 12 different women media spaces like I can name 6 or 12 of these men's spaces. You just said MGTOW. We got the Red Pill. We got the Passport Bros. Right. We got the dudes about the father's right activism. I mean, it's so many different groups, and then you say it's all under the manosphere umbrella, and it's confusing.
But Mr. No excuses. You're part of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. And I'm part of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And what happens is there is an intake process, right? Mm-hmm. And every group that you name doesn't have an intake process. This is where the confusion comes in, right? Because people like us that's outside of these groups don't know because there's no clear definition, right? And there's no way to vet members coming in. So you could have infiltrators, you could have people incels that come in, give y'all a bad name. There's a whole bunch of things that go with not having an intake process.
But this is not a group or a social club. If you want to be a part of the manosphere, all you have to do is create a platform and say, I want to speak.
And that's the problem.
I want to speak to black men.
That's a huge problem. Yeah,
but that's the problem.
That's absolutely baffling. Yeah,
that is the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. There is no
when someone asks you
who's your leader, they ask you your membership intake, who's your founders, what date were you founded. As you know, as a member of a fraternity, you got to know those things. There's structure. This doesn't have structure, right? It doesn't. The only thing that I got from this is that I met Mr. Frosty and Black Man, and guess what? I learned a lot from you too. Thank you. But other than that, everybody else doesn't have structure.
There
is a history. I did a video. There is a history of the term passport. There is a current history. Yes, there have been brothers that have been fed up with the matrix, and they have married and dated overseas before the term was coined. But anybody that says I'm done with dating, I'm done with dating relationships in the U.S., I want to get my passport and do it overseas, that's a passport bro. That's a passport bro. You know, the person that I credit and a lot of us credit to get a lot of black men interested in travel, his name was Charles Tyler, and he had a popular Facebook group. He has passed. He died overseas, but his legacy continued. Just like Kevin Samuels died, and his legacy will continue. So Charles Tyler, from a passport bro perspective, he was the kind of one that spearheaded a lot.
So when I asked who your leader was, that's who you guys should have cited, right?
Right, but even Kevin Samuels had requirements to be
A high value man, yeah.
Right. If you didn't meet the requirements, right, this vetting process that he said was made up before him. Hold on, I know, Rico, I don't want to start. I know that was made up.
A question.
That was made up before him. Then this is why we have issues with the passport bros. And I don't have, when I say issues, I respect any man that travels. But I think that Frosty and Black Man should get together and actually put some structure to this.
But let me ask you a question though. No excuse.
To the whole passport community, why? Because by talking to you, yeah, for the most part, Frosty has like an objective point of view. Like I say, it's not just you could. I like what because my whole book is about me taking American women overseas and having experiences, right? But then there's another passport group that says no. You're not a passport brother unless you're going down there to meet those women.
No,
let me ask.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so no excuses. If in fact the founder, and I know he's your guy, and I actually like him. I fucks with O'Shea. He crazy as motherfucker. He funny as shit. So I fucks with him.
How you mess with him, but you don't mess with TLA?
But let me finish. If in fact O'Shea said who credits himself as the founder of the Negro Manosphere, which is the Black Manosphere, him and that little fuck boy Obsidian. I don't fuck with him. I'm sorry if he one of your boys, but I don't fuck with Obsidian at all. Yeah, I had a couple of run-ins with him on a personal level, so that's that. But if in fact even he said he's separating himself from the Manosphere. He pulled away from the Manosphere, mediocre tutorials pulled away.
PLA
so a lot of the big content creators are separating themselves from the Manosphere for whatever reason.
Feds.
What I'll be honest with is I think the Passport Brothers are probably holding themselves back by still maintaining an affiliation publicly. I'm not telling you to distance them. But just for whatever reason, if y'all just sort of like,
everybody else is cutting and running,
drifted away from them, like everybody else is running away from that space. I ain't gonna tell you guys to run away from it, but just sort of drift away and say, "Hey, that's them. We the Passport Bros. We that what they do over there is what they do. What we do over here is what we do. And create yourself as a separate, standalone entity. I think you guys would be better positioned." That's just me on the outside looking because I rock with the Passport Bros. I don't rock with that Manosphere shit.
They want their cake and
they want water heaters.
And they can't have a both ways because on the one hand they say that everybody who's promoting all the sex tourism stuff isn't part of the Passport Bros. But then y'all say anybody can just say they're part of the Passport Bros. and they're a part of it. And there's
but y'all chopping the definition up. Y'all chopping the definition up. I'm gonna speak and then I want to go in order. I'm gonna let Alex respond. But y'all chopping the definition up. Like I said, you want to say you have a problem with the Manosphere, but the Manosphere is, like I said, it's a space for men. That's what it is. A sphere is a space. Manosphere, man, it's a space for men. That's what it is. Men, that primary audience is men. If you subscribe to audiences where it's audience of men and women, like Kevin Samuels, he technically wasn't. That's why they distanced themselves, because they said, you know what? My talking points, this message is no longer just for men, it's for women also. So that's why they distanced themselves from the Manosphere, because
you believe that?
No. The real reason, and I know
the feds came
that was the real reason. That was
I don't want to turn that into the conversation. I just want to put definitions around. Manosphere, primary audience male. Passport Bro, done with dating. Well, some dudes still mess with chicks in the US, but Passport Bros are guys that want to date internationally, want to have children internationally, want to marry internationally. Yeah, I told you, Frosty. Want to have casual sex internationally.
But it could be both.
But Mr. Frosty said that's not the case. That's
All
what I'm
right, so
saying.
I want to let.
And the manosphere is not just
So-
about men. The manosphere is about men who have been scorned by women and trying to
That's
instruct
not
men on how
correct
to
at
deal
all.
with women.
That's not correct at all.
Y'all ain't talking about
If
rock
you did
climbing.
not-
Y'all ain't
hold on,
talking about
hold on,
biking.
hold
Y'all
on.
talking about women. You're talking about your
Mr.
relationships
Real
with
Estate.
There's
women.
different people
Red
in the
pill.
manosphere
Men going
that
their
talk
own
about
way.
men health,
This and that. Y'all talking about relationships.
men health, men mental illness. There's a lot of conversations that's directed towards men that doesn't involve talking negative about black women or talking negative or talking about play for play. There's a lot of content creators in the black manosphere that talk about different things.
So are y'all part of the black
You know what I mean?
manosphere or are you part of the manosphere? Because those are two different things.
Look.
There's a
That's what-
manosphere and then there's a black manosphere.
Hang
So which
on,
one are y'all a part of?
No excuses. I agree with you. I'm telling you, I agree 100%. But remember how we started the earlier conversation about the passport bros and how we sat there and said 10% is defining the other 90%? Remember how we sat there and said like the most fucked up part
Right.
is creating the narrative for the rest.
Right.
That's the same thing that exists in the manosphere. So while I do believe that the vast majority of the manosphere is not that toxic,
Right.
but that toxicity part is so fucking vitriolic and so nasty, and the other 90% did nothing about it. That you know what that 10% did? It defined the rest of the manosphere, fairly or unfairly. I do not believe that that's all of the manosphere. However, that's all the fuck you see when we talk about the algorithm and you type black manosphere, you get the same shit. And you guys go, well, I'm not doing, okay, you're not doing it. And only that 10% over there is, and that 10% will not shut the fuck up. And
Point taken.
It's paying all of you guys.
Rico, point taken.
Let me give you an analogy. The manosphere to me, the black manosphere is the old school black barbershop. Okay? You can go in that barbershop and have a conversation without women being present and say everything you truly feel. But when you walk out that door, you can't say shit because your wife is going to beat you over the head with it. You get what I'm saying? The black manosphere is the black barbershop of today. Period. It has nothing to do with hating black women. It has nothing to do with anything about relationships. It's the things we would like to talk about that we can't necessarily say in an open area conference.
Frosty, can I say something? Frosty, based on the definition.
The problem is this, Frosty. Hang on. The problem with that, Frosty, is 10% of those black men will walk at that barbershop and punch a fucking black woman in the mouth, and then the other 9 that didn't do it get blamed the same, is what I'm saying.
No,
well, back in those days, if somebody walked in the barbershop and admitted to beating some woman's ass, the other men in the barbershop handled that dude. Believe me.
That's not
okay. So no. Be real. You're 57. I'm 54. Yes. Let's be real. If somebody walked in the barbershop and claimed they were whooping up on their woman, you don't think the other men in the room would have a problem with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so don't say it like that, because we're not going to excuse that type of treatment.
Right. Right. So
I'm a gentleman first. There ain't no way I'm
going to paint a false narrative about the manosphere being altruistic when you're heavily about passion.
I agree with Frosty, but here's the thing, Frosty. So can we safely say, based on your analogy, that the black manosphere was destroyed as soon as it became on YouTube and became public? Because now you're having these conversations for everybody to be witness to.
Hold on, before he checks out, Black Man Travel's got to leave, so I want to get his closing thoughts, and then I'll put your channel in the chat again, Black Man Travel. So you got the floor,
man.
Man.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, it's all good, man. If anything, we as contributors to the travel movement, we are individuals. No group define me, so I could care less what you guys see on YouTube. That doesn't affect how I move and what I'm promoting to my audience. So think what you want, whatever perception you may have, and why black men are traveling, that's on you. I could care less.
Are you a passport bro?
I'm a Black Man Travel. That's what I am.
So the name of this stream was Passport Bro Haters, and you came up to the panel, so I would assume you're affiliated with the Passport Bros.
I'm a Black Man Travel. That's what I am.
And you're not affiliated with the Passport Bros at all?
I'm a Black Man Travels.
Why are you trying to do this cop-out shit? You're clearly aligned with the Passport Bros.
I mean,
come on
Frosty and
You're up here defending the image and the ideology of Passport Bros, but you say you're not a Passport
exactly
Bro.
what you're trying to do, and I'm not going to fall for it. So again, guys, not every
Title
black
is
man
Passport
travels
Bro
for the same way
haters, but you're
that
saying
this
you're
guy
not a
think that he's
Passport Bro.
traveling for.
You can't
So
have your cake and eat
at the
it
end
too.
of
It
the
don't
day,
work that way.
no, I can have my cake and eat it too.
No, you can't.
I'm a grown.
Everybody
ass man.
knows you align with the Passport Bros. You just don't want to admit it, and we're wondering why.
Hey, Black
All
Man
right, guys.
Travels.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure,
Travels.
man.
I'll
Salute,
subscribe to
salute.
us then.
Definitely, I could jump on this. I got a live at 11, and I got mad travel trips to go to this year. So, if anything, Frosty, we'll talk later, bro.
All right, brother.
Black Man Travels. I sub to you.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Black Man Travel.
Y'all
Please subscribe
community
to his
got no
channel, guys.
order. Y'all ain't got
Yeah,
no
so Frosty-
structure, and y'all are afraid to even publicly state y'all aligned with each other. This is baffling.
Mr.
This
Real
is
Estate,
baffling.
you obviously came in here with an agenda when it came.
You're
to
obviously wrong. Ask no excuses why he
hold on.
invited
Let
me.
me finish my statement, please. You own a Facebook or YouTube channel, correct? Most of the people in this room have followers, correct? You came
Obviously.
in this room
Where are
with
you
some
going with
type
this?
of objective when it came to black
Ask
men.
why I was invited. Ask why I was invited here, and you'll learn
But
about the
you
objective.
still
Don't
prepared.
speculate.
Listen,
Don't
listen.
speculate.
You
I
still
didn't prepare for
prepared as a
nothing.
real
I'm
estate
real
agent. You
and
prepared,
running here,
correct?
and so I'm not a real
As
estate
a real
agent. So what are you
estate
talking
agent,
about?
you prepared.
Now
for
you're
things,
saying I'm a
right?
real estate agent. Now you're saying I'm a real estate
Oh,
agent.
so you're not a real
Where
estate
you-
agent?
I never said I was a real estate agent. So what the hell are you talking about?
So why is your name Mr. Real Estate?
If you want to ask me about the definition of my name, I will tell you, but don't assume that you know anything
Okay.
about me when you don't.
I'm sorry, I assumed the wrong thing. If you
Hell
have
yeah, you
Mr.
did.
Real Estate, I
Hell yeah, you
assumed you
did.
did something with real estate. Why do you have the name then?
The reason I have the name Mr. Real Estate is for two reasons. One, when I was 19 years old, just a teenager, the first fake guru, the first fraudulent individual I came across, his name was J. Mr. Real Estate Morrison. And after I knocked him down a few pegs and got multiple cease and desist letters from his attorneys, I thought, you know what? I've seen the world. So at 19, I dropped out of college, got my real estate license, and started a very lucrative real estate career. So my name is Mr. Real Estate for two parts: history of calling out fake gurus, and my past real estate career as a realtor. Now I switched to the investment side. So for you to just assume that I'm a real estate agent, I mean, at least just ask
Do
me
you
why my
still
name is my
carry-
name instead of
do you still-
assuming.
hold on. Do you
No,
still
I
carry
allowed my
your real estate
license to expire 2 years ago. I allowed my license to expire. No, I don't carry
Okay.
my real estate license.
Okay. So why don't you
Well,
change your name to Mr. Investor?
Because if you look at my content, I heavily look critically at fake gurus. And Mr. Real Estate was the first fake guru I took out. And I
So that's
believe that in the
basically a
law,
trophy
I
name.
believe exactly in the law of
basically
the
you have a
jungle,
trophy
you
name.
keep what you kill. In the
You-
law of the
you have
jungle,
a
you
trophy
keep what
name.
you kill. And
You
I
have a
have a
trophy
real
name.
estate background. And I have a real estate background for
Okay,
several
let's
years.
stay on- let's stay
So
on
both.
topic.
So I have a trophy name and I have a name based on my career. So what are you
Okay.
talking about?
Okay, but did you
Why
or
are you
did
so
you
charged?
not come on? Hold on. Did you or did you
Yes,
not come
I
on with an
up here
agenda?
with an agenda. No, I was invited by a friend, dumbass. So what are you talking about an agenda for?
Because you have one clearly.
No excuses. Maybe
Alex,
you want to
Alex,
educate.
let me-
Conversations and King and Rico came to this show
You
because
seem
he
like
thinks
you wanna
he thinks
talk
I
down
came
to
up here with an
Alex,
agenda.
Alex,
Alex, let me
Came up here with an
moderate.
agenda, and in fact, I was invited here.
Let me moderate. Okay?
I understand that, but you're
Let me-
still
let me-
talking
let-
down to everybody
Alex.
has a passport and you don't have one
I'm
yet.
not talking
Alex,
down.
Alex,
I'm
one
looking
second.
at the content.
Okay, I had to mute y'all guys for a second, man. So this stream is very important to talk about because there are people in the space, in the YouTube space, that does pose negative criticism at times towards the travel community. Like Rico said, there are a small segment that has the loudest voice sometimes, and even we have to be mindful in the US. Sometimes the women that say the most negative things about black men, a lot of times they do represent the minority of women, but we cast the blame on majority of women. The same thing that most women, black women, date a small minority of men, but their issues with that small minority they cast among most of the men. So we get all that. So we're not going to debate why people are on this panel because this is healthy banter. You know what I mean? Partly entertainment, but we want to have these discussions whether we agree or disagree. You know
I don't think you let me talk enough. I'm just fucking with you.
You're gonna get so I just wanted to make a point that you know what I mean, I rock with Mr. Real Estate, I rock with Conversations with King, I rock
Yes,
with
sir.
Rico, I rock with Alex.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted for me to for anybody to push a point, you need objectivity.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't need nobody co-signing everything because there's no objectivity. So there's objectivity that I wanted brothers to bring, and so for us to vocalize our talking points on a bigger platform instead of in our in comments on where it's trolls on social media. So I'm gonna let the conversation continue, brother Alex. Please give your closing arguments. If anybody wants to respond to anything Alex has to say, please keep it short. But I'm going to go in the order of Alex, then I'm going to go in the order of Mr. Real Estate, and then Rico, and then I'm going to end with conversation with King. So Alex, you have the floor. Anybody that wants to interject, please keep it very short. Okay, go ahead.
So starting with the topic, it was supposed to be Passport Brothers haters. And that's fine. A lot of people will hate on people that have passports and are able to travel. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white. Okay. If you have the ability to travel, somebody's going to be hating on the fact that you're traveling and they're not. I don't know how many times when I traveled in the military, I left town with people doing the same shit. I come back a year later, those people are doing the same shit, and I've seen 20 different things going on in my life in that 1 year. Okay. People are standing still in America because they are not traveling. The main point of Passport Bros is to get people to be exposed to the rest of the cultures that are in this world. It's not just about America. We have a hand as black people and so many different cultures all over the world. Sweden just declared their national indigenous people were black. They actually have a black statue in Sweden right now, claiming that they were the ones that started that culture for them. Okay, so exposure to the world is the point of Passport Bros. All the objectives that everybody wants to impose, that it's pay to play. I look at investments, I look at culture, I look at a lot of different things. I look at letting my money run as far as it can run. Okay, and if you're an investment, you would do the same thing. Other than that, everybody's going to take their little tidbit of what Passport Bros is. Overall, we're just a community of people that have passports. We associate, we link up, and if we're in that town or we're in that country, we can talk to that person and say, hey, where's a good place to hang out at? Hey, let's link up and have dinner. There's no association where we're all a group and there's a membership fee and there's a corporation and we're incorporated with bylaws or any of that. If you own a YouTube channel, you're running a business. Okay. That means you have an objective, a clear point of view that you're trying to get across to your listeners. Okay. That is not what Passport Bros is about. It's a community of contacts.
But y'all have YouTube channels, right?
This is just not a YouTube channel just for that. It's talk about a lot of different things.
You just said that people with YouTube channels are trying to get their specific point across, but your Passport Bros have YouTube channels.
Hold on. I thought I was supposed to have a closing argument, not a discussion.
Yeah, I'm just wondering
Let me finish.
when you're going to stop. I don't see a timer or anything. Go ahead.
Okay. So the point of this is Passport Bros itself is making black people, brothers, proud of having a passport and enabling themselves to travel, which we have not as black men taken advantage of. Point in case, Mr. Real Estate, who doesn't even have a passport yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't need a passport to see y'all tricking on YouTube.
Oh my God. So everything you see on TV, you believe, right?
I believe what y'all promote to your followers.
Don't say y'all, because there's a lot of different channels that have nothing to do with passport.
Y'all
bro.
just said that as long as you are a black man with a passport and have a YouTube channel, you're a passport
Real
bro.
Estate talk because he won't stop interjecting.
Just put a timer up. I don't know if you're going for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll let you talk, but just if he can share a screen and put a timer up, I just don't know how much time we have. No excuses. Do you want me to put a timer?
Since we kind of fluid, I'm trying to let people, have a floor, but try to,
Go ahead, Mr. Real Estate, have your point, and
On
then
my
I'll come back to you.
show, I like to be fair and balanced. King and Rico know I literally pull up a timer and give people the same amount of time to speak. So can we do the same thing? No excuses, because I don't want to cut off Frosty, and I want us all to have the same amount of time to speak.
Right. You're a long-winded person.
So if you put up a timer, I can't be long-winded, right?
Yeah, but we unless you're on a time crunch, I'm gonna let Alex.
I'm not on a time crunch. I'm on a fairness crunch.
I'm
and I
good
don't want to
with
interrupt
my
Frosty.
basic statement. I'm good with
Okay.
my basic closing statement. Now, he wants to interject, or he wants to go ahead and go to his closing statement, or ask me a question. I'm open for it. Okay, who wrote the Wikipedia input? Because anybody can put anything in Wikipedia.
I
Where
don't
did the
think you-
narrative come from for that
Frosty,
definition?
Frosty, I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. Where I'm
Oh,
coming
yes, I
from is
do.
this. No.
You're reading a
Listen,
definition, and
Frosty,
you're holding
Frosty,
me.
Frosty,
Hold on.
Frosty,
Stop. You
li-
just
listen.
read me a definition, did you not?
Listen, Frosty. I'm letting you know where I'm coming from. The average person, when they hear manosphere for the first time, Frosty, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
Google what is the manosphere, and when you Google what is the manosphere, this pops up. And if this is not what you're about, then what are you gonna do to repair the image of the group you choose to align with?
First of all, I shouldn't have to do anything. You can believe what you want to believe.
So
Until
you're
you
okay-
actually listen,
you're
listen.
okay
Let
with
me,
being
can
a
I finish
part of a
answering your
group
question?
that is
Can
seen
I
as
finish
like
answering
this?
the question?
You're okay with
You
that?
can believe whatever you want to believe. That's your choice. Until you sit down and have a conversation with somebody from the Black Manosphere on what
I'm
their
having a
belief
conversation with
structure is.
you.
And I'm trying to tell you, but you're believing a conversation or a definition from Wikipedia that you
Did
don't
I
even
tell
know.
you? Did I tell you I believe the definition, Frosty, or did I
But
ask
that's
you
what
that
you're
I was
using
gonna-
as the
Oh my
definition and
gosh, Frosty.
baseline for the conversation, correct?
You don't understand where I'm coming from, Frosty.
You're
I'm not
using that
saying I'm not-
definition as the
Frosty,
baseline for the
Frosty,
conversation.
no,
Are you
Okay,
not?
okay. I don't want.
Frosty,
I don't want this to drag. I
I've
gave the definition.
I've got questions, and
But-
he can give me the answers I want. It's just he needs to understand where I'm coming from. I'm
I'm
not
not
saying that
answering the
definition
way
is
you
true.
want me
But
to.
I
That's
gave you a
no.
definition. I gave you a definition of both. To be fair,
Then I will ask you, no excuses. I will ask you if you say that you passport bros are aligned with the manosphere, and if when the person hears about the manosphere for the first time, they're going to Google it, and if that's the definition they find, then what are you doing to repair the image of the group that you choose to align with?
if there is a false narrative, when there is a false narrative out there, there are people that put out content or respond to that content. You know what I mean? Now, how effective that is, that's a whole nother conversation. But to your question, yes, I respond to false narratives. I have YouTube videos for certain false narratives. How effective to dissect those false narratives, that's a whole nother conversation. So I want to move the needle. If anyone doesn't have anything to interject with Alex, I want Mr. Real Estate to kind of put his closing arguments.
Well, I still had a few more questions, but I think it'll be faster if I just ask them to you instead of Frosty. So the next question.
Go ahead.
The next question that I had was going to be, what's your definition of passport, bro? But I've heard you guys say it a couple times, and what I gather is you guys are saying it's just black men who think you should get your passport and travel, and that's it. That's all, right?
I said passport bros are guys that said they are done with dating, marriage, having children in the Matrix USA. Some guys still do date in the US, but they have basically explored their options. They have explored their options. That was the primary message of Charles Tyler. Get your passport to explore your
To
options.
explore your options. I got you. So what's the difference between a passport bro and a sex tourist?
So a sex tourist is someone that goes to someone that travels to another country
to explore their options.
You want me to answer the question, or do you want me to, or do you want?
Go ahead.
or do
I'm
you
making a
want me
joke.
to-
I'm making a joke. You know, I'm a jokester.
So a sex tourist is a person that goes to that travels as a tourist for sex.
And the
By
difference
definition.
between a passport bro and a sex tourist is that instead of saying for sex, y'all guys call it exploring your options.
No, a passport bro is a space of men that want to explore their options, whether it's sexually, whether it's for marriage, whether it's to procreate, whether it's to invest in real estate, or whether it's to find a place to retire. You know what I mean? But whether you go on a date in Chicago, whether you go to a Black Beach weekend in Florida, whether you go overseas, most black men want to have sex. If I go on a date with somebody in the United States and I'm attracted to, I want to have sex. If I go spend $2,000 to go to Vegas or Miami, I want to have sex. If I go to another country and there's beautiful women around, I want to have sex. So let's not make it seem like our libido goes up once we go. Once we go overseas, my libido is the same regardless. But there's an incentive for guys to do that and to enjoy a sense of normalcy going overseas.
I see what you're talking about. And again, I'm a little confused because earlier when you were laying out percentages, you said you think that like 40% of the passport bros go over there for what again?
I said I did a poll and I asked guys what is the main outcome that they're traveling for, and some of the categories was strictly to have fun. Another category was for marriage.
Strictly to have fun. What percentage?
Huh?
What percentage was that?
What percentage?
Let me put the category so it doesn't get, the message don't get conflated. Okay. So another category was it was another category. I'm gonna pull it up, but to answer your question about 40%, but I'm gonna pull that stat up so you guys can see it firsthand. But go ahead.
But yeah, it was like 40% was like something, and then 20% was something, and another 20 was something else. So if you can pull up those exact stats,
yeah, that
would be awesome. And actually, I've got some followers in the or some viewers in the chat that says 40% was just for sex, but we'll see when he pulls up that poll.
It was, and then 40% was to procreate, to have a baby. I thought it was
still 40%. Sex, yeah.
I thought it was 40%, but they didn't want to get married. So we added up to 80.
So while I pull that up,
go ahead, finish. MR.
Yeah, go and
I can provide some statements. I can provide some statements to just give the people some entertainment while you pull that up. But so far, where I'm really coming from here is, again, my whole platform is based off of pointing out inconsistencies, pointing out fraudulent behavior, pointing out hypocrisy in groups or individuals who have large followings. And when it comes to this passport bro rhetoric, I mean, y'all really want to eat your cake and have it too. On the one hand, y'all say black women are so ratchet, but then when you run the clip, you got foreign women twerking and shit looking ratchet, just like an American black woman would. On the one hand, y'all say that these poor wait, hold on, it's an echo. I think that's okay. Thank you. So on the one hand, y'all said black women in America are so ratchet, but then y'all going overseas to these foreign women who also are acting pretty damn ratchet with their Brazilian butt lifts, twerking it for a stranger they just met that night. On the other hand, you say that these poor chicks are so better than the average American chick, but y'all claim that these countries are so wealthy and well off, yet you are preying on the fact that there's a socioeconomic disparity between you and those women. You guys proclaim all the time, when you go overseas, they treat you like a king. They have such a higher value for men, and that's because they live in patriarchal societies, whereas we don't necessarily live in one. So I think if you guys just were a bit more open and honest with it, then maybe it would be better, because right now we're hearing some inconsistencies. I mean, you say that the sex tourist dudes aren't affiliated with Passport Bros, but then you say you guys have no rules and regulations at all, and that anybody with a YouTube channel can say they're a Passport Bro. So why are you mad when the average YouTuber like me looks out here, sees these sex tourists, see that they're calling themselves Passport Bros, and we think that of you? It's an obvious thing. It's cause and effect. And for the people in the chat saying, well, I don't even have a passport, why can I talk about it? I don't need to have a passport to speak critically of the content online that you guys are publishing. And that's where I look at with that. But if you've got the stats pulled up, no excuses, I'd love to hear them.
All right, I'm still going through the.
I've got people in the chat reading them out. 40% was just straight up sex, no commitment. Another 40% was sex to have a baby, and 20% was to get marriage. And that's, correct me if I'm wrong, that's 100% sex and relationships. Even if you're going there for the altruistic values of marriage, Yeah, and even if you're going out there with the benevolent intentions of marriage, before marriage comes dating and casual commitment, and then you get onto marriage. So either way you slice it, y'all is about sexual encounters with women overseas. And the reason why I say that is because for y'all who say no, it's a real estate thing, no, it's a travel thing. I mean, then y'all need to do better with policing your communities. The highlight reels show sex,
So
titties bouncing, and ass.
So let me show two surveys, and then and then you can respond to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fellas, I gotta go. I gotta go now because I'm in New York City. It's a nightlife. I wish I could stay longer. We had 2 hours, but we went above. This was a great show. I hope that we could come to a better ending. I won't be here to witness it, but I just want to say, brothers and sisters, whoever's watching this show, get your money up, get your weight up, try to travel if you can. It's not just about capital. It just doesn't mean money. It means cultural capital as well. And that's it. I'm out. I appreciate you, Mr. Real Estate. Thanks for introducing me to this. Rico, always, I love your honesty. Mr. No Excuses, thank you again for having me on your show. And Mr. Fortsy, I appreciate you teaching me a lot today. Thank you. Everybody have a good night.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Conversations with King. His channel is in the description, so you can just click on the description and get to his channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna subscribe to you, King.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Definitely do that.
Hell yeah. Great content. And while you bring those stats up, the last little mic drop for all of my supporters watching is that what it really comes down to is this. From the outside looking in, y'all, the way y'all talk about the American women and foreign women's being so much better and yada yada yada, to break it down in a nutshell, bear with me here, but y'all sound just like male versions of these female divestment communities. Y'all sound just as bad as these divestors. The difference is they're getting with white men and bigging up white men, but you guys are traveling overseas to get foreign women and bigging up foreign women. But it's sounding pretty similar to this divestment talk. Y'all just divesting overseas with it.
All right, let me go through this. Let me go through this one. So I did two Facebook groups. So this is one.
Let me just say this. I hate fucking MRE, but there's validity to what he just said. There is the perception of it. It may not be accurate, but you guys have to accept perception. You ever hear the term perception is come on, Frosty. Perception is what? What is perception, Frosty? Reality. How I see things.
False reality. Perception is a false reality based on the person.
But it is my reality. It is my reality. That's the whole point. So the whole point is if you create a dynamic that a perception that someone else. So you say false reality because that's not what you meant. Doesn't matter what you meant. I don't care what you meant, Frosty. It's what I saw. My perception and my perspective is my reality. You might have meant to go right. Fuck it. I say you so go left. And that's the problem. That as creators, I'm not saying we're responsible for, but we need to start being thoughtful about and saying, shit, is that the message? Because what I do think is this, okay, No Excuses and Frosty. Content creators have gotten fucking lazy. We become some lazy motherfuckers, and we just like, I'll say whatever I want to say, and if they don't get it, they don't get it. I'm like, what kind of trifling ass lazy shit is that? So you want to say what you want. Then when people take it the wrong way, you do not want to accept any culpability or responsibility for the message that you project. If that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that.
Hey Rico, I'm gonna come back to you real quick. I just want to go through the survey real quick. So Mr. Real Estate, hopefully y'all can see this okay. So this was in one group. So the questions was five questions. Are you for relocating to a foreign country? Are you for mongering? Mongering is pay for play. Are you for foreign marriage? Are you for having children in a foreign country? And then are you against U.S. marriages.
Oh,
So
somebody in the chat earlier said something about mongering, and you guys vehemently denied that, but that's part of the category.
let me go through the survey because you stated that question that you didn't hear me that you haven't heard me put the.
I'm just
the
confused that
difference.
mongering was part of it. I'm like, damn. Earlier, y'all was saying y'all don't monger, but now
Like I
it's
said,
part of the category.
I said the passport brothers are brothers that want to date internationally or want to marry internationally and or want to have children internationally and or just want to casual date internationally. It's not one specific agenda because all black men are not the same. All black men don't travel for the same reasons, but the black men in the passport community, what they have in common is that they are done with American culture as it relates to dating and relationships. So we
do understand what those numbers tell us, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
men lie, women lie, numbers
horrible.
don't. If you break it down, no excuses. 27 votes are for nothing to do with sex and relationships, and the other 57 have to do with nothing but sex and relationships.
You're combining them. So just in case people can't see, 27 votes were people that want to live in a foreign country. That's the number one.
Yep. And that has nothing to do with sex at all.
You have to let me create the narrative, and then you could counter the narrative.
Okay.
No, I'm not countering it. I'm just saying
let me finish.
relocate has nothing to do with sex.
Let me finish. I get his ass. Go ahead. Let me
create the narrative.
So 27 said they just want to move somewhere else.
Let me read it. So 27 said that they out of all the options, their number one option is to live in another country.
Go to the fucking moon.
Okay. So the second most responses was pay for play.
I want to go somewhere and pay for some pussy.
Yep.
So the third,
yes, that's what it is.
The third is foreign marriage,
which is sex and relationships, and marry somebody else.
And then the other is having children.
I want to have a baby mama. That's a baby mama.
Don't say that because I want to
have.
Time out. I have a wife and I want to have a child. So I would have selected this.
Then why are those different categories?
I'm not going to be a baby daddy.
Excuse me. If you have a wife and you're going to have a child, you're not in that category. You're in the pro-foreign marriage category.
But I checked this box too.
No, but then you were wrong for checking that box because you were pro-foreign marriage. And that overrides having a child.
You can, when you do a survey or from a poll, people can select more than one.
Well, but what you're doing is you're weighting that because see, when you do this stipulation could be people who want to have a child but not get married in a foreign country.
Right.
If
So the data may be. It may overlap,
skewed,
but it's something that you can make some kind of assumptions, right?
Okay, I'll accept your little wishy-washy shit on that one, but go ahead. It's wishy-washy, no excuses. But
I'll let y'all respond to that while I bring up the results in another group.
27 votes had nothing at 27 votes. 27 votes had nothing to do with sex or relationships. And then the next category, sex and relationships. The next category, sex and relationships. The next category, sex and relationships. The next category, sex and relationships.
The highest number had nothing to do with sex. Of your own survey, the highest number, people not interested. I'm not. Believe me, they're always interested.
No. Rico, though, it's not true because these people can check multiple boxes for one, and for two, all of those categories that come after pro relocation, they also have to do with sex and relationships, whether it's for marriage, so at the end of the day, by and large, y'all going overseas for women.
But what's the difference in the United States? If you talk to most men and you ask them if they want to get married, black men, they're gonna say no.
The difference is, why won't y'all just fess up to it? Why won't y'all just admit, yes, we think that the relationships in the United States are terrible. We would rather have women overseas, so we're going over here to turn these hoes into housewives. But instead, y'all try to say, no, it's about travel. No, it's about this.
That's the narrative you want to push.
No.
Okay.
Let me go through this second survey because this is the last one, and
Okay.
then we can put everything in full circle. But let me just read this out real quick.
Go ahead.
So this is the second and last survey that was done in a different group. You know what I mean? So this was 5 options. Number 1 was pro play for play. That was the number 1. The number 2 was,
my God, look at the percentage.
Having two. These are votes, not percentages. So having children in a foreign country.
Even the votes is ridiculous.
Marriage in a foreign country, anti-marriage, and then anti having children in the U.S. So
that's all sex and relationships.
No, guys want to do the same. Guys,
I didn't see rock climbing on the list. I didn't see travel on the list. I didn't see learn about different cultures on the list.
No. MR, be quiet. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Seriously, all bullshit aside, and I'm not trying to wait or anything.
Can I take this down, or y'all still want to keep it up?
No, you can leave it up.
Keep it up. Yeah.
Leave it up for a second.
Because it's making y'all look terrible.
No, stop. Because what I'm asking is this. I'm not even asking about the sample size. I'm not asking about how the numbers came out. I'm asking, this survey was put out to who? Black expats?
No, the groups that are black men, primarily black men.
So guess who didn't answer this survey? Foreign women in whatever country you were at.
No, that's irrelevant. This survey.
How's that irrelevant? How's that irrelevant? That's very relevant.
This survey was asking men why they travel.
Okay, stop, but fine. Which is fine.
Okay.
You can't say it's irrelevant. Because that's the other side of the coin. Because the other side of the coin in each one of these questions is another person, right or wrong. Are these questions asked of a person that's in a singular, I'm in a relationship with myself and it's nobody but me. And there nobody else exists. Because pro-mongering, there's another person.
Why is it even called that? I've never heard of pro-mongering before.
Stop.
This is the first day I've heard about it.
Because
guys don't mind paying for pussy.
You're not a person that's fed up with the Matrix.
So what I'm saying is this.
I'm fed up with it. Trust me.
Let me finish. No excuses. Is that it's somewhat of a decent. So it's like, okay, this is an American. So why don't you call this a Black American survey? Maybe what the fuck it is, if that's what it is. If that's literally what it is, then name it what it is. Black Male American Survey. Because then it's looked at differently.
Well, this is not for the public, to be fair.
I know. But be honest, between me and you, this is between me and you, this is a Black Male American Survey.
Right.
Between me and you, that's it.
A non-scientific survey. A non-scientific. I can't hear you for some reason. You muted yourself, Rico.
Oh, don't know how to work technology.
And you know, I know I'm old. I'm old. Don't you laugh at me, Frosty. You know your ass old too. but the reality is because for me,
a couple years younger than you.
I know. Fuck you, okay?
And I'm young. I just got a receding hairline. Don't get it twisted.
He's right. But you know what though? No Excuse Entertainment. By this survey, I would have been up there in the pro-mongering. I would have checked it.
Okay.
That's me.
But he lives in his truth.
I am. That's all I'm saying is I am. Frosty, you'd have been up there too, right?
Come on, Frosty, admit it.
Yeah.
Come on, Frosty.
Been up where? Been up where?
Go ahead, Black. Go ahead. No excuses. Tell them what you would have been.
At what age? Well, it's a non-scientific poll.
What's your answer in this survey?
Tell you the truth, when I was younger, I did all of that.
Thank you.
You were in the military too, right? Right? You were in the military. You traveled abroad, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we were knocking them down when we were younger.
Yes, sir. And
no excuses, and no pun intended. We were knocking them down when we were younger. But as we got older, our situations changed. That wasn't what we were all about.
Yes.
So it really does depend on your age.
So I think I checked all these boxes.
Which is what I was saying when I was trying to get into the conversation, was like I can find myself, I'm like, oh shit, I can't be mad at any of it. I can't be mad at any of it. I'm not mad at any of it. I would have checked them all, but I would have checked them all. I fucking hate to admit, like, I've got
Did you
my
just change your response on the poll?
Huh?
No, I was trying to see if I had clicked it. I was trying to see if I clicked it.
We caught him, y'all. We caught him in the act.
Literally, all I'm saying is that when we have these conversations, I try to have them from a space of reality and honesty. That, like, even though, okay, I'm older, I may not go out there in those spaces to whatever. But like I tell you, I bring my sons. I'm like, hey, look, go out there, do your thing. This is what I would have done. Boom. And I try to go ahead and guide them. I'm not out there with them, but boom, boom, boom. But the fact of the matter is I know that what I try to tell them is, even when I was in Korea. Here's the funny thing about it. You may not remember, Frost. I was in Korea during 1988 when they had the Seoul Olympics. And I think that was the first time South Korea had the Olympics. It's a huge fucking thing. Oh my God, you motherfuckers just freaked out. And we thought it was going to be World War III because it was like a big thing. You know, you had North Korea, South Korea, these motherfuckers had never pledged peace and shit. And they were doing the Olympics. And we all shit the bed. I was up at the north by the DMZ, like, okay, we're going to die tomorrow. These motherfuckers going to come through. North Koreans going to come through with tanks and everything. They'll fucking kill. And they literally told us, as God is my witness, it was like, when they come, you motherfuckers got 6 minutes. That was our life expectancy. I was up at Camp Edwards, up by the DMZ, and it's like, hey, when they come, you can slow them down. You ain't stopping them. Why? Because there's too many of them.
Right.
You can slow them down. That was literally what they told us. Was like, mop up, they're going to kill your ass, you're going to die, you'll slow them down. So the whole point was, if you do this and you push this narrative, all I'm saying is the narratives that we push in these spaces, we got to understand they're temporary. And stop doing that. So I'm not going to talk no more.
No, I appreciate you, Rico. You bring a balanced argument, and some things we could agree to disagree, but we did it in a respectful manner.
Yes,
and like I said, we need objectivity and pushback. You know what I mean? What you want to see as men is, you know what I mean, they stay firm on their beliefs and vice versa. Because that's how people, you know, pick what they think that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. So I'm gonna say a closing statement.
Thank you for kicking me in the ass. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna have to come back and do something similar again. You know what I mean? Whether it's on Mr. Real Estate channel, my channel.
That's what I'm thinking about. Probably next week we'll coordinate it, but I'll definitely do a Passport Bro expose and invite all you guys up.
Yeah, they came for you, man. So
no excuses. Look, Frosty, get fucking Black Man Travels. Tell the rest of them we showed up over here, man the fuck up over there. Okay? And you
And the way I
that's
do
what-
my shows is y'all will literally have a timer. Each person gets 2 minutes, then they done, then we move on. So it's very balanced. It's very balanced.
but literally, we will give you the same respect, and I will tell you, any space you come with me, I will give you guys the same respect that you guys gave me.
Oh, I'm gonna have the passport, bro. Hi, they gonna be swarming.
Yeah,
They gonna be cooking.
roll the
They gonna be
tape, roll the tape, roll the tape.
And
Black
actually,
man
no
travel.
excuses. There's one thing I'd like to read if I can. I'm not sure if you caught it, but earlier I said that on my channel right now, I was also live, and on my live stream, it's just a blank screen with a rolling ticker, with the link and everything to drive traffic here. But I do have a supporter who's watching here on your channel, and she left a super chat on my stream. And as a content creator, we always have to read the super chats. So if it's fine with you, I just like to quickly.
Go
read
ahead.
this.
Go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
So shout out to the Power Within. I thank you for the contribution. She says, "Oh my goodness, why did they invite you to this if some Frosty the Snowman had an issue with your presence, bashing you because you don't have a passport?" Thank you for joining the Power Within, and I appreciate you for tuning in today.
For sure. Appreciate it. So
Wow.
before we wrap up, I just want to
Hold on. Let me. I don't have a problem with you not having a passport. So let's get that out there. Okay. I just said for somebody that's interested in traveling, it would behoove somebody like that to want to listen to the experience of other people that already have their passports. Now, what she heard is what she heard.
All right, cool.
I understand, and also I wasn't reading that to be facetious. I just, it's a common practice with content creators. But it's no smoke between me and Frosty. I understand where he's coming from, and I'm glad that there was at least one person from the Passport Bro community speaking, leading with something other than sex and relationships.
Frosty,
right,
because
let-
of his
let-
fucking
let-
name. His
let-
ass is just naturally frosty.
let me start the conclusion with relationships. So this picture that I have up, I was recently married April 1st of this year. You know what I mean? So Passport Bro gets married. I did a video. Passport Bro gets married. So just like men in the US or anywhere in the world, they enjoy their single life. And I decided out the Passport Bro space to get married, where some brothers objected to it, didn't like it, so it is what it is. But this is, that's my wife, we had a beautiful wedding in Colombia. She's Afro-Colombian. She's Afro-Colombian. And so with my channel, I want to show the narrative that brothers do go overseas and marry Black women. She's a Black Latina. She's not a fair-skinned white European Latina. She's a Black Latina. So I want to create the narrative, because some women think men date for a certain look.
Mm-hmm.
There are Black women in other countries, and there are brothers that do get married and settle down. So this is a narrative that I want to, that I want to show. But but to your point, the vast majority of Passport Bros do indulge and pay for play primarily.
That's the first time I heard y'all admit it. Okay.
That's the vast majority.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
But there's nothing wrong with it. That's the point.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Because those countries that y'all go to is not illegal, right?
No, there's nothing wrong with it, because of the fact of the matter is just own up to it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just look, bro. I would go to Colombia and drop a few dollars. I want to play, I'm gonna pay.
Mm-hmm.
But to sit there and push a narrative that is free, that's dumb. That's just stupid. I'm not going to send anybody over there to set themselves up to be in a space to be taken advantage of. That's just what that's all my problem is. My problem is not doing what you guys do. Like, what the fuck are you lying about it?
And I'm on the same tip as Rico.
That's it.
Yeah. My whole issue with y'all is if y'all led
I'm still
with
fine
the
right
truth.
now, sugar.
if y'all led with the truth that y'all mostly over there going for pay to play, and that was publicized, then you know what else would happen? Y'all would speak publicly about how to protect these men going over there to pay for play, and maybe there would be less brothers getting robbed, less brothers getting babies, and
But we
a
do
child out
though.
of wedlock and stuff.
But we do though. We got brothers that put out. We got people in the passport space that put out news. They talk about recent druggings, guys getting set up,
Okay, there you
drama.
go.
But to
But no,
be fair, let me just finish this point,
Good.
Rico. To be fair, in the YouTube space, you got content creators like you know what I mean, in the black space, you got like it was the Kevin Samuels of the world, the Lapeef Networks of the world, Dennis Sperling, JT Pocket Watcher. You got all these different O'Shea. So as the list goes on and on, so the passport bro space,
Yeah.
the passport bro space is so small, it don't really come on your radar like that. So you don't really know the things we talk about. So you know what I mean, us having this conversation is kind of helping broaden, because we want to be a part of the conversation too. You know what I mean? We want, and especially more and more people talking about brothers need to get their passports now, as they seeing the aftermath of Kevin Samuels and how some women have responded. More and more brothers in comments saying, you know, I need to get my passport. So I'm trying to enter the mainstream manosphere. I don't even want to say manosphere. I'm trying to enter the mainstream black YouTube space, showing a positive image of travel, you know, through my channel and other like channels. So we kind of change the narrative.
But no excuses. You know, the two things that bother me coming out of the Columbia space, and I apologize to Andre. I know he was here earlier. Was in the last year was the incident about the brother from Atlanta who got killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
There's
sure
been
you
so
heard
many.
about that.
There's been so many. I'm trying to keep up, but go ahead.
No, the brother where they rolled up and they shot him in the head from Atlanta, just that whatever. That was in Columbia. I forgot his name. And then the incident where them idiots was flashing their money at the hotel.
Right. Pookies,
right?
the Pookies.
Yeah,
We call them
Pookie,
travel.
right.
We call them international Pookies. But go ahead.
But again, the algorithm keeps sending shit to you, and it's like, it's like, okay, these motherfuckers dropping probably about $20 worth of pesos, you know, and it's like I don't know how many thousands of Colombian pesos, and then you had the incident again where the guy, he met the girl from Colombia, and he was gonna open a restaurant, kick the people out, this, that, whatever, and then got rolled up. The guy from Atlanta.
Yeah.
There was one dude who went over there for real estate. He was out there investing in properties.
That was
yeah.
the guy.
Oh, is that one?
The same guy we're talking about.
I ain't got to worry about the investing in the U.S.
But that's a small minority. So we could pick up.
He died in Barranquilla after buying an apartment and a restaurant.
Yeah,
he did some stupid shit.
I covered that as well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I covered that as well on my channel. I got a video. So yeah, we could pick apart different instances another time.
That's what's pushed in the algorithm, is what I'm saying.
Point taken.
That's what I'm saying.
Point taken. You all you guys made valid points. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So Rico, please close. We're not gonna rebuttal. Please close and say good night. Please close and say good night. Mr. Real Estate, please close and say good night. I see you. And
Is that Young Frosty?
And Alex,
okay.
please close and say good night. So I'm gonna start with you, Rico. No rebuttals, just close.
No rebuttal. Hey, thank you for inviting me up to the channel. I love it. It was a great conversation. It was a great conversation to discuss. I like the back and forth, the opportunity to be here and to share my perspective and my opinion, and just for you guys giving me an opportunity to hear my voice. Again, I'll be DR bound. I'm already set there. I'll be there in a couple of weeks to get my vehicle there to go along with my house and so on and so forth. And I'm deeply rooted in the Dominican culture, myself and my wife. Probably in about 3 years, I'll be there full-time expat. But until then, you can look for me on Let's Live the Better Black Life with Bro Clarence. It's not my channel, but it's a channel that I definitely heavily rock with 1,000%. So if you can drop it into the chat, Let's Live the Better Black Life. Again, I can't say it again. And I fuck with Mr. Real Estate. I fuck with No Excuses Entertainment. Frosty, come on, we the same age. Don't act like your ass younger than me, goddamn. You damn near in the same. We in the same age group, okay? But salute to you, sir. I love the pushback, and you know what, Passport Bros, continue to push your message because I 1,000% rock with you guys' message about as people of color, we need to go out, we need to travel, we need to see other places in the world. Not just in Latin America, Asian America, South America, Africa, everywhere. We're every fucking where. We need to get out of our bubble. I believe in that. I support that. I only came into this space and into this conversation to ask that we speak the truth about everything. And I think you guys have. So thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the conversation. I love you all. I hope to see you guys on the next stream. And I'll be signed up with the Passport Bros, but I'm gonna tell the fucking truth. All right.
Cool. The link I put the link that he's on in the group. Also the link to that page is in the description in this video as well. So appreciate you, Rico. Salute.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Real Estate, you up?
Yeah, so closing remarks. I'd like to read a couple funny comments from the chat and then I'll close out. Shout out to Sugar Bum. She's a diehard supporter of mine. And Sugar Bum said, and this was directed towards Frosty. She says, nah, he was fine though. I would have did the bend and snap on Frosty. The bend and the snap. Oh Lord, okay. And then I want to say no Walla. He says, dude spent 2 hours suggesting that these guys are going abroad to look at ruins and museums and finally admits it's all about prostitutes. You crazy, Nuala. I don't fully align with you, but it was nice to hear him verbalize that at least 51%, whatever the vast majority is about hooking up with women overseas. And I think the main point of contention in this whole stream was that I'm all about transparency, and I can understand, I have empathy for some of you guys in your community that don't want to speak publicly, that don't want to be so brash and frank about your intentions, because if I was doing the same thing, it's hard for me to come up here publicly and say, hey, I like to trick overseas because my money goes longer, the women are more kind and cooperative and submissive, and I don't have to deal with these same issues I deal with in America. And if that truth would have been, spoken earlier in the stream, then now we can get to solutions, because if that's what you guys are doing and that's your truth by and large, I got no problem in that. But now let's talk about solutions. Y'all got a huge PR problem. Y'all got a huge HR problem. We talk about O'Shea Duke Jackson. We talk about the Manosphere. The Manosphere has a organizational hierarchy. They have people who are gatekeepers. If you want to say you're truly a part of the Manosphere, you better go through O'Shea. You better go through certain people, or else you ain't able to have that moniker. So the Passport Bros, if y'all doing what you're doing, I got no problem with it. I just think y'all need to have a better organizational structure so that you can control your image better, just like the Manosphere needs to control their image better. And that's just where I'm coming from.
Point taken, brother. Point taken.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the invite, and yeah, I'll definitely coordinate with you on doing a part 2 on my channel, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, cool. I'll post the Mr. Real Estate channel in the comments, and also his channel is in the title, so you can just go to the title and click to get to his page.
And hopefully Frosty joins as well, because I'd love to pick the brain of a real estate developer overseas, because I've never came in contact with one. I'm sure there's plenty of gems that you got, plenty of gems.
Have no
I'm
problem
laughing at
with
this comment, man. He put passport hoes.
Y'all crazy.
Passport hoes
for the women. And Passport Bros for the men.
Damn.
All right, cool. I appreciate you, Mr. Real Estate. I'll talk to you on the back end.
All right, till next time, brother.
All right, brother.
Man, closing statements, Frosty, man. So we can control the narrative.
Woo, man. what a night. It was actually really fun bantering back and forth. I love a good conversation. People will have a right to their own views. All I can do is encourage everybody that's been in here, make sure you have your passports, go out and experience the world. However you see fit to do it, whether you're mongering or not mongering or whatever you want to do, just go out and experience the world and get a clear objective of what the world is all about. Don't believe the media. Don't believe the things that you see, because whoever puts that media out has a narrative. I don't care if it's a video. I don't care if it's the news. Whoever owns the news station has a narrative. Okay. So the only way for you to truly understand what it is to travel and see different places is for you to physically be there. Feel the energy of the people, feel the energy of the vibe that's around you, all that. So my closing remarks is, if you don't have your passport, hopefully this conversation didn't hinder you from wanting to go and get a passport, because that's not the reason to have one. It's just to go out and have sex. It's not my objective, but I'm older.
Okay,
So
cool,
with that, I'll end it for me.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you, brother, man. See you.
No problem, brother.
See you soon.
We'll see each other soon. Believe me, I don't have a problem joining that other group. So I can take the heat. It's all good.
All right, cool. Peace out. So yeah, so those that's new to my channel, so I do have two channels. I have the No Excuse channel, which I have up right now. This is my primary channel. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. No Excuse ENT. Passport Bro podcast. That's more of like the locker room for the fellas. You know what I mean? So that's the podcast. That's my smaller channel. What I do on my No Excuse channel every Sunday, I call it Afro Sunday. So I pretty much talk about Afro-related topics in certain countries. So like this Sunday, tomorrow, for example, I'm talking about Botswana. And I'll have a couple of ladies from Botswana talk about their culture. Men tend to ask questions about dating, relationships. There are some countries in Africa that practice polygamy. Some guys are interested in that. So I cover certain countries in Africa, and then I'll also talk about Afro-Colombian culture and Afro-Brazilian culture as well. So I got two shows tomorrow. So someone bought land in South Africa. So I'm going to be talking to him tomorrow about his process of buying land in South Africa. And then later Sunday, I'm going to be talking about Botswana. So yeah, so I do that. I did some collaborations before with some larger platforms like O'Shea from Ken. He got a Ken Gonda channel. He has his O'Shea Duke channel, and then Black Man Travels. He's another content creator I did collabs with. So yeah, so my homepage kind of shows different topics I talk about. I try to talk about the Afro aspects of traveling and dating and things of that nature. So these are some more recent topics I did. I did one on Zimbabwe, Namibia, buying land. So it's a lot. It's very diverse and cultural what I talk about. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, you subscribing, you checking out the videos, those help push the algorithm to talk about a more positive narrative about travel, which I try to push. Yeah, a lot of us have fun, at the end of the day, but my experience was, I had an ultimate goal, which was to get married and now travel and do other things. So I'll stick around for anyone that may have some questions. I know there was a lot of conversation in the chat, and I appreciate it. It's hard to keep up sometimes. So if y'all have any questions, I'll stick around for a couple more minutes. Let's see. The most recent, he said O'Shea Jackson promoted mongering, but I must have missed that. No, O'Shea didn't promote mongering. I think some guys exaggerated video O'Shea had where on one of his channels he doesn't use anymore, it was like a lady that was kind of dancing. He was basically showing off a woman that he was with out the country. And, people made the narrative, as far as clickbait. So that's what it is. But yeah, O'Shea doesn't promote mongering. O'Shea does not call itself a passport bro. However, O'Shea does recognize that space within the Black Manosphere. Yeah. He was capping. Oh, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Let's see if anybody else have any questions. Yeah, he was capping. He exaggerated a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. They caught light tone women, although Haiti has a handful of women that look Latina and red bone. That's very true. Von Dale, how do we keep Pookie and Ray Ray's out of one? I mean, travel, you can't stop nobody from getting a passport. Only thing you can do is if we feel like there is behavior that doesn't represent Black men in a certain way, we have to call it out. Whether we call it out on social media in our respective groups, we have to call it out. And then, if you're compelled enough, we could kind of pull people to the side, but it's hard telling a man what he should or how he should conduct himself in another country, but you just have to focus on yourself and represent, represent the best version of, I would say, a Black man that you can, Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Make sure if y'all haven't subscribed, like and subscribe. My channel this No Excuse channel focuses on travel abroad. And I do talk about Afro places. Now, I will say too, women can benefit from my channel as well, even though I'm trying to give game and information in countries that Black men are primarily interested in. I do try to interview women of those countries as well. And at some point, I want to, kind of help women travel abroad for what they're looking for, because men and women want different things. But what I noticed about Black women in the U.S., they want a man, they want to be spoiled, and I'll give some game to some Black women, any Black woman that may be in the audience. You want to be spoiled. The group of men that spoil women the most that I've seen traveling in the U.S. is Nigerian men. You know what I mean? So, So at some point, I'm going to have that discussion because, Black women want to be spoiled. Why not travel to Nigeria? You know what I mean? Those men, even Africans say Nigerians come there and spend and splurge and things of that nature. Even though what's the girl, Portia from Atlanta Housewives, I think she married to a Nigerian. I know he's African. I believe he's Nigerian. So, yeah, I mean, Black men and Black women can find what they want abroad. You know what I mean? So, and that's all this, and that's all what I'm about. Let's see. Yes, sir. Focus on your point, Just Jay. That's why I go to African countries. Just go to Senegal. Senegal have chaste wife material women that open their eyes. Facts. Man, y'all was going in on the chat, man. I'm gonna have to go back in a couple of days, man, just to read and catch up, man. Y'all was keeping it lit. So if y'all don't have any other questions, I'm going to wrap things up. Salute is Jay Clyde, one of my Brazilian traveler homies. So yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all. Thanks for the love and support. The Passport Bros podcast. This is the podcast where the guys pretty much we talk about, we debate people that have issues, people that create false narrative. That's why I did. That's why I'm branding this show as Passport Bros podcast. But by No Excuse channel, once again, is focused on the Afro experience outside the U.S., whether it's the Afro-Colombian perspective, Afro-Brazilian perspective, and I'll cover Southern Africa, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana primarily. And I may have some guest appearances of people traveling to other countries in Africa and so forth and so forth. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Good show, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Mr. Dawkins said, It's an awful lot of videos of Black American women with content on getting with men overseas. And unlike the responses from women in this chat, I have no issues or opinions on that. Appreciate it. Man, and tomorrow, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Yeah, we mentioned some we mentioned some segments of, the manosphere spaces, Black Men Speak, and SY Save Yourself Black Man is a segment that Man of Tomorrow preaches on. He has almost 30,000 subscribers, so his channel focuses on men that just, you got to think, we just got to think about ourselves. It's not a passport, bro. It's not red pill. It's just about, what it says, save yourself, Black man. So Man of Tomorrow, he's he's doing his thing, so definitely check him out, especially if you just checked out a lot of things as far as the Matrix. Said tit for tat is not my thing. Yes. So yeah, once again, I appreciate y'all. I'm about to sign off. We got the 3 hour and 30 minute mark. So y'all have a good evening. Peace out.